Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it, world champion Sam LaRue, a.k.a. Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game from the world champion himself, Christopher Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite. We got the multi-world champion and multi-champion legend icon to the Call of Duty space, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Ace. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, what's going on, man? How you guys doing today? Interesting results today, to say the least, in the CDL. Very interesting. How are you guys?
Red carpet.
Mind blown. Just fucking mind blown.
What were you guys talking about before the show? Pat, you said you called a Purge masterclass. Sam, you were calling him out. What the fuck were you guys yapping about?
Pat said Purge was going to have a masterclass of a series today. Mm-hmm. And then the first series after Pat said that, he had a 0.4.
Tom.
And they won.
They
won the series.
But it was a 3v3 because Journey was trying to do his best impression of Purge.
I can't be held responsible for Sam's lack of hearing. Okay, he's got good comms, but his ears aren't that good. I said Sam. He was going to have a master ass series, but it would be a legacy series, and it was. He's Tony Snell meme forever. I don't know what he was doing on the map, Tom. He had 20 kills in 3 maps. That's never been done 24. Before. 24. Okay, 24. I'll give him 4 more. Good job. He had the same. Think about this, Tom. He had the same amount of kills that you had Desh when the lights were in your eyes.
No, that's crazy. No, that's crazy, Pat. That's crazy. And what happened the next 3 maps? Like what happened the next 3 maps?
Not what happened to Purge, Tom. You turned up, but Purge did not, because didn't have to play him, because his team somehow won 3-4. It was impressive, to say the least. We'll get there, but
we're skipping. We got to start from the top.
Yeah, we'll get
start from the top.
Yeah,
my predictions were dog shit. That's how I'm doing, Tom.
Yeah, I think we all had dog shit. How do you predict this shit, bro? You
the
can't
flank
predict
doesn't know ball. The streets are saying the flank does not know ball, and I'm inclined to agree with the streets.
I guess we don't know ball with the way these predictions be going. Go ahead, Chris.
I think the only thing I got is LAG right. That's the only one, and it was purely off of bandwagon because they were like the worst and best team at the same time every single series.
The only 2 predictions I got correct today were 2 LAG wins.
Yeah, which they shouldn't even have won the second one. That should have been Vegas, and Vegas threw that away, which we'll get there. Let's get into the first. Actually, Ben, how are you doing today, Ben?
Well, the player picks today, I was hitting. The team picks, man, I think I fucking had a goose egg today, Tom.
Oh, you were putting in some picks today, huh?
I think I didn't get one today.
I didn't get one pick today. I was putting in some picks today. PrizePicks.com. You use code ZooMaa and sign up. I didn't hit a single pick today.
Yeah, we all got. No, you got one. I got
one pick, but that was after I lost 10 in a row. Like it was bad. It was very bad.
Wait, Ben, you really had a goose today. You, CDL pal, just you two.
I got fucking slammed, pal.
Damn.
Wait, what did me and Sam get? Like how
you guys had one as well. Us four had one.
Yeah, I had the first 4. I had LAG. And
I should have had 2. Vegas should have won their series, in my opinion. They should have won it. But let's talk about the first series of the day, Chris. I'm guessing you're doing well. You look good. You look good, Chris.
Yeah, I'm great.
Phenomenal. Let's get into it. First match of the day.
Hold on. Before we get into it, Luka Doncic has 70, and there's still 3 minutes left.
At the half.
Yeah.
Jesus, go ahead, Tom. I just saw that. That was crazy.
Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that a V-neck or a tank top? Because that might be the craziest V-neck. Oh, okay.
It's a tank top, yeah.
Bro, I don't know why Tom is giving off these major like Italian mob boss vibes right now, and I just
go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
What do you mean? It's a compliment.
Is it?
Kind of.
Yeah, go fuck yourself's a compliment too.
Go fuck yourself. That is a compliment.
You look like you got your GTA fit on right now.
That means that's a respectful thing in my culture. If I say go fuck yourself, it means I love you. It means thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you very much. Let's talk about this. New York got shit on. Look, they got shit on by the Carolina Royal Ravens. Look at shit on this. Again. What did I? First of all, hold on. I gotta just rewind a second here. Yesterday, I said that Carolina might be able to make this a series. I got laughed at. Also, I said Vegas was going to win. I also said Vegas was going to win their first series. I got laughed at that. I also got laughed at for that. I just want to make that clear. Go ahead, Ben. The floor is yours. What were your thoughts on the series? The world champions get double first rounded in the first major of the year, and they were eliminated. They get last place, Ben. Kick us off. What do you think happened to them?
This team online looked like so disciplined in search, and like, looking back at it now, like, bro, if they weren't this good at search, like, this team would have had a terrible stage because today, this team couldn't hold a fucking rotation in a hard point against Carolina. And I get it, you know, you don't have a lot of tape on Carolina. You know, they're a newish team. They made changes, like, makes game planning a little bit difficult. But the caliber of talent in the New York team, they should be able to win this series a majority of times. And watching this team in Respawn right now, they got a lot to work on over the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, I definitely
This team
don't
got
disagree with
problems.
that. Sam, what are your thoughts? Who's got problems? The New York Subliners? Because I agree
New York
with
Sub,
you.
they got big problems. They
Yeah.
got real big problems.
What do you think's going on with them?
They can't win their bread and butter. They were 9-1 online in search, 9-1, dominant, best in the league, and they go goose egg 0-2 at the event. They can't win a hard point to save their lives. To Ben's point, if the game 4 was just the summation of their issues, they got broken hill on terminal of all maps, hill after hill after hill after hill. And the only map that they won this weekend was Karachi Control. Granted, they should have won it twice in the Minnesota series, but this team does not look good in Respawn, and they can't win S&Ds like they were doing online. So here we are.
I don't know. Did I hear?
Maps.
Oh, sorry, Chris, to cut you off. Did I hear? Did somebody on the flank say that New York was struggling in scrims, or was that somebody that in the team?
I don't think that was us.
That was probably
You're
wasn't us.
talking about. We talked to Dante like in December, and we asked him like, "What was your team's best game mode?" He said, "Search." So we're still working on Respawn. This is like middle of December, and I'm like, look, to New York, like the game has changed a lot in this new patch. Like all the pro teams gonna come back, have to learn on a number of these maps, like new rotations, whatever. But watching their chemistry in Hardpoint, it's just, bro, especially Terminal, they've had a real struggle on it, all split. They've started to fall off hard on Karachi. Like, they just have no anchor, really good quality maps in the game mode. And Skid Row is probably their best map, and people just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody said, didn't New York get top 12 major one last year? Did they get that? Didn't they? I thought they
won major one.
They
won major one.
They won.
Yeah.
That guy was not watching.
They got top 8 at Boston last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. Somebody in the
don't
chat
think they
just
got double rounded.
okay, whoever that was in the chat, you know who you are. If somebody could go and find that, go fuck yourself.
But they haven't had a great time at Boston. They were one of the teams that traveled the earliest to Boston. Then they flew to Boston on Monday. But yeah, I mean, this New York team's got to come back from this event and just try and rethink this Respawn game. I think the fundamentals are there in S&D. The squad seems pretty solid. The game mode obviously went 0-4 this weekend. But if they can't figure out Respawn, it's going to be a really tough situation to stack them up against like the Toronto phases of the world.
But go ahead, Chris. What were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off before, bro.
I mean, luckily for them, I think the hills are going to change, so it's going to make a lot of these maps play different and obviously rethink their strategy. But in terms of like their gameplay style, like I feel like they just had to revisit the way they played Karachi. I feel like it's one of those maps where they just leave too many gaps open in their setups because people are kind of just running around a lot of the time instead of like playing. We were just talking about it before the show started. But a lot of people were kind of like going back to that old habit that I brought up in in Modern Warfare 2. When you're on these rotations, you have to play tight. You have to minimize the gaps. You have to play guarantees. And then after you do that, you can spread out and punish and spawn trap essentially. But these guys, if you watch them play, they're just leaving way too many gaps open on every rotation. They're pushed out every which way. They're taking way too many solo chows, and it's causing openings and gaps and opportunities for every team to break them. And that's why they just can't fucking hold a hill. Kismet obviously had a bad series. You can obviously tell by the stats, but honestly, I don't even blame them. If like you're getting broken on every hill and you have to keep breaking every single hill, so you're just getting set up to get farmed. Yeah, you're not even like able to do anything.
But to be fair, they were rotating and just having a really tough time just finding kills. I mean, that was the problem, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, so I just don't know what happened today. Just maybe they were unorganized, and
I know.
maybe the comms were all fucked up. Pat, you're next. What were your thoughts? What do you think happened today?
Tom, the New York Subliners
Okay.
have fallen to the sunken place.
Oh man, what the fuck does that mean?
Tom,
I love that movie.
it's a
Great
good
movie.
I feel like they're just completely not in control of any map ever. They're like, Sam, what was it? The terminal, bro. They literally, it felt like they just sat there and watched the map just go to the Ravens.
Listen,
like
terminal was bad. Like,
It was
terminal was
bad.
really bad.
It was just hill after hill. It's
I wanted
not even like they were.
easiest maps to hold
Bro,
hills. You just hold
they were in,
crossfires.
like,
That's all you do on terminal.
Dude, they were in situations where like you look at the mini map and you're like, "There's no possible way to lose this." And like 4 seconds later, Carolina's in the hill.
Yeah,
just rotation after rotation. Like they were getting broke on Burger. They were getting broke on Plain Hill.
I mean, Pat, I'll let you keep going, but I also think we got to give some credit to Carolina here. I thought they played great today.
Oh, they played great.
I thought they were making really good plays. I thought TJ played really good. He was taking routes and making plays and being an impact on a map. Gwyn, I mean, Sam, that's been your rookie of the year. I mean, Gwyn's been
big Gwyn guy.
He's been actually Linz is probably our rookie of the year so far, but.
He's my rookie of the year.
But Gwyn has been playing great. Tyler Fellow, I thought was making great plays today, and that's what we want to see from Tyler, right? He's getting the opportunity to come in here, Tyler's been on the stage before. He's been here before. Even with TJ, right? Like these are players that they're not shy from the stage. They're
look,
used
Tom,
to it. What is that?
Look at what I got up. That's the bottom 10 KDs online.
Geez, you love to do
Felony
this.
was number 1, and TJ Halley was number, what is that, 6?
Yep.
In the bottom 10. Like,
yep, I see him.
And then look what they do on land, Tom. Like, Fellow looks like a Lanimal in comparison.
Yeah.
I did hear he had some issues with his PC, his league PC as well.
What?
So
What were the issues?
Might be a little
talking about
league.
at home.
At home. Sorry, at home. Yeah. So I mean, like, there might be some league PC cheese for this squad online.
Teej couldn't overclock his controller.
Yes, and they're coming crazy.
Also,
here on land.
Clayster, 15,000 damage. Another series from him where I feel like Clay's just giving it his all out there. I mean, but there's something about Clay. It doesn't matter how many years he's in the league. Every time you watch him on stage, you can tell he's just giving it his all out there. And yeah, he's always had a love for the game and like passion for the game, and it shows on the stage, bro. Like he brings so much energy to it, and I feel like every time you watch Clay play, like you just can't doubt him and you can't doubt his team. You never know what his teams are gonna do when we get to land and we get to the big stage. It's crazy. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. I also just want to mention, like, again, I don't know if this is going to necessarily, like, obviously beating New York is a huge step in the right direction. And I don't really know if, like, they're going to obviously be able to continue that success. That has yet to be seen. However, these are amazing signs for this roster. But I wanted to just point out that, like, again, people are saying, Clay, Fellow, whatever, like, they don't need another slow AR because I think Fellow is a little bit slower. But, like, I told you guys, Clay is not a slow AR. Right, you think of him as a slow AR because he's kind of older and stuff like that, and you would just think he's going to play more methodical. But if you know Clay and like you actually study like the way he plays, he's a fucking psychopath. He literally just gets in there. He's trying his hardest to win the game at all times.
But that's the best.
He's putting in damage.
I loved when my main AR, like I played with Clay, right? Like I won chips with Clay. I loved when my main AR played like that. I hated when my main AR didn't move and did nothing. I felt like they were never in the play. They were never helping. Then I thought you did a great job when you played. Now initially, I thought you were slow as fuck, but you told me you were Killhorn to get to the top teams. And then once you got to the top teams, bro, you were good at knowing when to put pace on the map with an AR, and I feel like that's really important. Like you need to be able to play aggressive with an AR. Like you can't just play slow all the time. And you've been a player who's done that very, very well. So shout out to Clay, man. He looked good today. I thought the whole Carolina team looked good today. So definitely wanted to show them some love. Chris, were you gonna say something right there?
No. I was just tipping Clay and just basically saying, like, again, like, you gotta stop looking at him as like a slow old man AR. Like he might have those series where he gets pooped on sometimes, but at the end of the day, like this guy knows how to play COD.
Everybody gets.
He's been doing it for a long time. Man. He's been doing it for a long time.
And then one question that Ben, unless you have one more thing, I have a question to ask you guys. But if you have one more thing, go ahead.
No, ask a question, and I'll.
Well, my question is, TJ Haley comes into the roster. Real is obviously supposed to be that player coming into the roster. Is Real chalked? Is he chalked now? Like, what goes on with him? He was supposed to be here.
He wasn't before today. He is now.
That's what I'm saying. Is he chalked? Like, now what?
Bro, TJ was actually really good in the series too. That first map, it was all TJ and the S&D. He played really well alongside Fellow. They were key fundamental players into why this series they went up 2-0 in the series.
But okay, so here's one thing. Here's one thing though, right? Real is a good player for one. 2, he was playing on like 100 and fucking something ping. 3, are the visa issues his fault or the organization? Where did the visa issues even come down?
We don't know what the issue is.
We don't know.
When Real played in the league, he was playing.
He was
from
on.
Toronto.
Yeah, he was
playing from the Toronto facility, I think, or he was in Toronto as well. I'm pretty sure where he was. He wasn't playing on 100 ping in the league, so they've already played.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I think Real's a good player, and I definitely want to see him play in the league. But at the end of the day, like if Teej continues to show out at this tournament, they've already made all this progress with Teej, and he looks good on the roster. Like they're not going to turn around and make another change.
I never got to finish my point though. I wasn't saying that he should be in there. What I'm saying is it is extremely unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
like he didn't even get the opportunity to get on the stage and try and show people what he can do on land with the team. Like if that Carolina could have came with Real and did well, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he could have showed out on land. Like I really don't know. So I feel bad for him in that regard that he didn't even get the opportunity. And there's so many things that didn't go his way. It was just extremely unlucky, bro. Just very unlucky. And now it must be hard to see them go out there and find success right now, especially on land after a tough online stage. Go ahead, Ben.
I don't think, listen, I think Carolina is in a good decision-making standpoint because whether they win or lose their matchup tomorrow, I think there's some progress to the decisions they make. If they want to bring Real back in and figure it out, they can do that. They've got some practice time to figure that out. Or, maybe they keep running it with the squad. I mean, they're hot in hardpoint right now. I don't think what they've won. They lost one hardpoint to FaZe.
They won their last
they
four.
They won the last 5, I think, right?
Because
they went game 5 against Thieves. And they won both hardpoints, and they won both hardpoints in this series. So
yeah, we'll be last 5 then.
Yeah. So they're hot, man.
Pat, what do you think? Real roster changes, stick together. What would you do?
He's gone, Tom. He's gone. And I think this. Oh, should I still have the NYSL picture up? This kind of leads to. I think I saw someone tweet it like, "Bro, if you're not making roster changes when you're ass, then you're just setting up for failure the rest of the time." So these other teams who are absolute doo-doo, Tom, and there's multiple. Like Carolina made a quick little 2 swap, and they look like a different team. So if I'm one of those squads out there that know their ass and are hesitant about making a move, I'm getting on the phone before the tournament's even over, and I'm figuring out who I'm swapping for.
Pat, you always pack a punch. No, Pat, you always got to pack.
Always, you have to. I saw Call of Duty also tweeted that. I'm gonna wait for my
Did they? They tweeted
my
that?
royalty fee.
I'm
just stealing my line.
I'm gonna be brutally honest here. If you are a team that went out today, if you are a team that is no longer in the tournament, if you go home, you're stupid. You need to go. What you need to do is you need to go to the challenge. Listen, you need to go to the Challengers.
Where you want him to go?
Where do you want him to go, Chris?
You need to go to the Challengers tournament for the rest of the weekend, and you need to watch the teams play. Today was the first day of Challengers, and there hasn't been any good matches. But obviously, as tomorrow and then Sunday, there's going to be good teams playing each other. You need to go and scout some fucking talent.
Wait, you want the teammates, the players to do that?
Anyone, yes. Go and
yo,
look for
imagine,
your future teammate now.
Tom, imagine you're on your flight home and you see your teammate on a periscope watching Challengers, bro. You're like, what
you see him in the back of a periscope, Pat, with a cap on. He's got a little notepad, some glass. You
just know you're getting sketched on, bro.
You know it's fucking
so
over.
Yo, what are you watching? Oh, nothing, bro. Don't worry about it.
Bro, but I'm actually so serious. Like these people need to be scouting their new teammates because, dude, there's no way that these teams aren't making changes. And everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you always say dip into challengers. Where are you going to get players from? There's no trades happening, guys."
New York, but let's talk about this series. Like, is New York?
Wait,
I'm
not talking about New York. I'm going to talk about the rest of the teams because Pat just called every other team ass. He's talking about being
I didn't call every other team ass. I called a majority of them ass.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm talking about all the teams that are going to make changes that obviously went out today. New York might be the only exception about making a change.
I mean, Chris, I will say this: like, there are some teams that think we're going to finish top 8 this tournament that also should think about making a change. Just because you win one series and losers bracket doesn't exempt you for not making a change if your team still can't fucking win, can't get top 6, can't get points to make champs. So I agree with you. I think there are going to be a number of changes, and I think we'll talk about them throughout this episode. And I agree with you. People should scout challengers, but I do want to say that specific to this series, New York has the talent. They just got to put together and figure it out. They should not be making a change right now.
There's no change.
Unless there's some backroom chemistry shit that we don't know about.
Yeah, I was going to say, there could be, unless there was some problems going on with the team that we don't know about. But, I mean... I don't
even want to put that out there.
Yeah,
we have no idea.
We don't have no idea. Squad,
we have no clue. I think at this point, I agree. I wouldn't change the New York roster yet. I mean, it's literally a world championship roster, and you added a very good player to it. I mean, you just got to give him time. Didn't Dante tweet, Ben? He tweeted something. Didn't he tweet something?
About
he
narratives.
Tweeted some narratives. I don't know. Some interesting quote. I'm sure if they start to play well, it'll come back up. So
okay. Well, any other final thoughts on the New York Subliners and Carolina Royal Ravens series? Any thoughts, guys?
New York has a lot of work to do when they get home. And thankfully, to Chris's point, the game is entirely different in every possible way in Respawn. So
listen,
I don't have a comment on New York and Carolina, but I did have a follow-up to what Chris said. I think we spotted Ghosty in the pit, dude, checking out some teammates.
What the fuck?
We'll get to that. I have one last thought, Tom, on New York while we laugh about Pat saying, if I am New York,
that's Ghosty with his
with his fucking disguise. If I am New York, I am instantly getting on a flight home. I am loading up Rio, and I am absolutely lobbying all the teams to start getting that map in the pool because of how ass we are at fucking Terminal Hardpoint. Get that map out, get a new map in. Give ourselves some fucking more opportunity to get some bread and butters in our hardpoint map, which is very, very tiny right now if you're a New York fan.
Well, I mean, Rio's gonna be added. I think Rio will be added in.
I fucking hope so. It should at least be tried.
Well, if it's not added in, I mean, what do you think we do? We go back to the GA stream and fucking bully him to put him in? Is that what we do? We might as well.
Yeah, we gotta bully him.
Who knows, Tom?
I mean, the Rio needs to be added. I think that map's actually pretty good after playing it and looking at it. I was also talking to Daniel Say. I was telling you about that before, but he loves that map. He really likes that map. He wants to see that one in there. So shout out to Daniel. And then also the other map. What's the other map? Oh, Greece. The pros hate Greece. They don't like it.
That map is chalked, bro.
Bro, Chris, that map is good, bro. You fucking look at. We're playing dirt shit right now, bro. We're playing legit. We're playing legit dirt shit maps.
The new terminal, the new invasion, bro. Like, come on.
At least with Greece, we'll get some pace on the map and we'll see some action. It'll be lit. It'll be like Bow Cage.
After playing Terminal more, the new patch, it's not that bad. Invasion, however, is putrid, horrid shit.
Yeah,
Terminal has its issues.
Biggest thing with the new patch, I think, in my opinion, is streaks, bro. Trophies don't block missiles anymore. Do you know how important it's going to be now to play for a missile? Like, there's a lot of hills where there's nowhere to go if a missile's coming down. Like, a good example, right? P5 Skid Row. Where the fuck are you going to go if a missile's coming down? Can't go anywhere.
Screen.
Yeah, it's chalked. It's over with. The guy in hill's dying every single time. So it's just gonna change so much that you can get kills with it.
Karachi control. If you guys are streaking and coming off a defense, and you can kind of curve that in.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's gonna change a lot about how the game plays. I agree.
Yeah, and there's situations where I feel like the game right now it's like flood, or trade. Now it's gonna be like, if somebody's close to a streak, or people are gonna be playing for streaks way more, knowing how much more they're gonna be usable.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next series. We have the Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against the Los Angeles Thieves. This was the Battle of LA, and this is where LAG was able to get the 3-1 victory. Sam, I know you're an LA Thieves guy, right? This is where you were able to win your world championship.
3-0 in control. I mean, what a masterclass performance by the Los Angeles Thieves.
I mean, you guys win one map.
They
and
are
Sam,
fantastic.
I'll kick it off with you. I mean, if you take a look at LAG, I mean, they almost had the red carpet here, Sam, but they still won the series 3-1. I mean, what are your immediate thoughts?
We're one in Infinity and Hardpoint. You can't win one. Can't buy one. Can't buy two, I guess. We're miraculously probably the best control team, and we're one of the best control teams. I don't know how, but yeah, if you can't win 1 or 4, you're not going to win the series. And it's the exact same problem that New York has. They just don't know when to fucking put their controllers down and get a kill versus when to pick it up and start sprinting forward. And when you watch it, it's the most infuriating shit in the entire world. They just don't rotate when they need to. They don't hold when they need to. It's, like I said, it's infuriating.
They also seem pretty stagnant sometimes, like no teamwork. It's just kind of like do whatever you want.
Just 4 individuals.
Yeah, 4 individuals, and it's just and sometimes you see like, bro, when you watch them play, you're like, yeah, these 4 individuals are, they're good. They got talent, but it's, it's not gonna work if you don't play as a team, and there's gonna be a lot of inconsistencies, and that really showed today.
They had a listening today in the Karachi Hardpoint that was just like just a perfect example of everything wrong with this team. Like it was the P1 on Karachi, the LAG literally just full sprinted up middle map,
Sam,
broke the hill.
as soon as they went to that listening. Bro, I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
No
bro.
clue.
I couldn't imagine one of those guys what was going on.
You guys want to watch it? I could pull it up. You want to pull it up?
Yeah, we should watch it.
Bro,
It's a good example of just everything wrong with this team right now.
I know we call this the
It's on the Karachi Hardpoint, right?
Karachi Hardpoint. It's right at the end of the first rotation.
Okay.
Beginning of the second one.
We need justice for Odan Ghosty. I'm sorry.
He had a great series.
A 1.4, and they were, dude,
a
the
great
first
series.
2 maps, I think he had like a 2.0, like in total.
Yeah, he went like 36 and 20 map one or something insane. Yeah, he had a great series today.
I mean, I just think, listen, we called this the In-N-Out Burger Bowl. The only thing well done is fucking LA Thieves, because I think they're probably making 2 changes after this one. It just seems to me, I think the obvious change is probably getting rid of the Minnesota duo from last year. I think that's probably the best. Keep Joe, keep Dan, and try and get a sub and another AR in.
Dude, we're talking about changes.
I agree, to be honest. I feel like Afro and Cammy, that it just hasn't been working for a while now, right? Like,
it hasn't.
No.
But the thing is we're talking about all these changes for, we're sitting here, 8 teams should make a change. There's not that many players that these teams are really going to want. Like, there's going to be.
Care.
So
I'm not saying they shouldn't make changes, but I'm saying like
spot, though, for
people are going to feel like they're settling once you get past the, I don't know, it's like FaZe Black, like there's the top end of the challengers team. once there's those less desirable places, like granted, you still should be making changes. Don't get me wrong, but
that's
like
why
it's gonna
that's
be
why you
so
have to
fucking
that's
tough.
why you have to pull the trigger first. And on top of
100%.
that, bro,
shout out Carolina.
there's so many people with giant fucking egos. There's been this gatekeeping mentality in the league from certain individuals for a long time.
Whoa, hold on, pause. Whoa, we're on the flank. We don't say certain individuals. We specify.
I agree.
Shut up. I'm not doing that.
Whoa, specify.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing. Let me finish my
No, you
statement.
gotta say who,
There's
bro.
been a lot of.
What? You can't call someone out and not name them.
Then I'm just not gonna talk.
Whoa,
He's going to cheese and...
Can I finish?
Dude,
Okay.
what?
Let him
you gotta
finish his
go.
point. Go ahead, finish his point.
There's been a law.
Is somebody punking Chris?
There's been a
I'm
big
so
gatekeeping
lost right now.
mentality
Let him talk, let him talk.
in the pro league from a lot of current players and former players, and even some, maybe even GMs, in terms of like how they view talent in challengers. The problem is that they're not, like, some of these people aren't willing to open up. And listen, from the LAT perspective, I said this roster was gonna be ass, and then I got roasted by Cap saying, "Well, who else are you gonna get?" or blah blah blah. He basically said like, "Oh, this roster's good," blah blah.
So are you talking about Cab or are you talking
No,
about
no,
somebody else?
I'm saying in general that he roasted. This is a separate statement, but I'm saying I was told this roster was gonna be ass. People on Reddit said that this roster was gonna be good, or was good for who they could get, and I told them they're fucking insane. And
Wait,
now,
who did you say?
What do you mean?
You said people said the roster was ass, and you said they're insane. What?
People on Reddit would say that I was insane for calling that roster.
Oh, that
ass.
you were insane.
And
Okay.
people were agreeing with JCap, and JCap also said that I was like making a terrible point by saying this roster was ass. The roster's ass, and they should have got people that I probably recommended, and other teams are benefiting from having those players on their team to some degree.
But
I
just to be
want to be that
clear,
guy,
you're not,
but I fucking
you're not
said
saying you're not saying LA Thieves, because I think LA Thieves, like, you know, are you saying they're not a team willing to pick up people from challengers, like, during
No,
off-season
I'm
situations?
just saying this team. I'm saying that in general, like the way the league approaches like some team changes, like it's so hard for them to kind of like even like think of certain players. Like most of the time, it's the cream of the crop that get picked up, but there's a lot of other players out there that may not necessarily be winning the whole time in challengers that are still good enough to play in the league, and they can easily replace some of the players that some of these players are getting picked up by.
I mean, I want to say this, like.
Wait, I'm a Nostradamus.
To be fair, like I let's not act like LA Thieves had the pick of the litter when they built this team. It was a very mixy. Bro,
wait, what?
Fucking blew up. They started with zero.
But what we're saying is they had options. LAT is a
wait,
location.
hold on. Listen. Oh my God, I'm a genius. Hold on.
All right, here we go.
Thursday. No, I have a text. I'm just reading a text between me and a certain individual. I'm gonna play Haggis. No, I'm playing Haggis thing. A certain individual.
Fine,
you brought this text up 6 times.
No. This is a different one.
Oh, okay.
Thursday, July 20th. Okay. I said, and I said, Cammy and Afro ? Am I hearing this right? Said individual replied, "What would you do, Master GM?" Being sarcastic. I said, "Here, peep this squad: Abuza, Linz, Ghosty, and Gwyn."
Ooh.
That's what I said. This is Thursday, July 20th.
Not bad, Slayton, not bad.
This is what I said. And I said, you and someone else can definitely whip that squad in shape. Like saying, like, you know, if you think they're rookies, like, you know what I mean, you'll get them in, you'll get them right.
Mm-hmm.
And then said individual replied, "How much of Abuza, Linz, and Gwyn have you watched?" Of course, me, Challengers expert. I replied, "Well, I watched Doug's team get absolutely world starred by Abuza this weekend, and I watched Challenger Finals at Champs, and wow, that Gwyn guy is nuts."
And then what did they say back?
Said individual said, "I'm a Challengers expert," in sarcasm. And then I said, I'm telling you, I am.
No way.
Unreal strays.
I'm curious again, and I don't know.
I don't know if Unreal or this certain individual was taking my convo serious, but looking back, this is
quite
7 months ago. That's a roster.
That's a good
That is a roster. That
When
is
you
if you look at it now, you're like,
that's
holy
a
shit.
roster. That's a
What
roster.
I would be curious about, and that's why I think we have to talk to all 3 of those players at some point, is like, did they get LA Thieves off? Like figure out what offers they had. Were they together? And like how Linz and Abuza ended up on separate teams. I know Thieves was linked to a couple of them. At some point, none of them ended up on the roster. Like, I don't know the context of all that happening. But I agree with you. You know, when we first talked about the team, or like the Minnesota duo, I don't know. We see the thought process here, but, you know, they're just kind of playing the long game. I think for Thieves, you know, they're going to have to kind of blow it up a little bit. And here's the thing is, if you look at all the teams that are going to make changes, they're one that's a little bit desirable. So I think they can go first, and I think people will wait on them. So I'm curious to see if they're going to start the combos now that they're out of the tournament.
But I think before we also talk about roster changes, like, again, this is going to go into next year. Like we've said this year after year, the decisions you make in the offseason matter way more than the roster change decisions you make in the middle of the year, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people just, to Chris's point, and I'm not saying like challengers are the sole thing that you should pick up, but like putting together a squad of like people that, let's say, are my problem when they put that Cammy Afro is they got too many known quantities, right? Like I feel like the upside to that squad, you know, and there's multiple teams. It's not just LA Thieves. Like you kind of know where their upside was when they made that squad. Like there needs to be a little bit more risk taking in the offseason to put together squads that have potential, you know, regardless of whether you're right or wrong, because otherwise you're just putting together a squad that's going to go get 8th or 12th, and then you're making a roster change anyway.
But that's what I'm saying, though, Pat, is like most of these teams, yeah, sure, they'll pick up challengers, but they'll only pick up the challengers that like are winning at the time they need a roster change, or the ones that literally won champs the year before they get in the league. They don't fucking actually watch anybody else. They don't actually pay attention to challengers. It's why, for example, this roster is getting beat by players that were in challengers, and they weren't even technically the best players in challengers. Diamond Con was not one of the best challengers players last year. Estriel wasn't. Fame wasn't. They didn't even fucking win champs. They even come close. I think they placed. I think actually Estriel might have got 3rd, but Fame and Diamond Con, I don't even think they were like.
Well,
they might have been. Fame got in the league at the end. Diamond Con wasn't on a good team at the end of the year, and he's the best player on his roster. They don't fucking watch. They don't know anybody else except for the teams that win the whole thing at the end.
But again,
they don't know what they're doing.
This question, like we've seen all of the orgs do a good like pick up challengers players over the years, other than FaZe because they haven't fucking needed to. Like who exactly are we talking about here?
What do you mean? Wait, sorry, one more time.
In terms of who needs to make changes,
who are the players that you're referencing?
Like who are we speaking about?
I'm saying a lot of the teams that like they'd rather recycle players than like do deep dives into challengers and who they're like looking for. Like in terms of roles, because they instead of like, oh, the people that won challenger champs got picked up already, it's not even worth looking at the rest of them. Is what I'm trying to say. When like there are players that I'm sorry are better than a lot of the current pros in there talent wise. They just obviously need a little bit more guidance and need to be in the right environment, and they'd easily surpass some of these players, not only from a talent perspective, but from a fucking pure passion perspective. Because a lot of these players, bro, I don't care what you say. I just feel like they don't give it as much as like some of the new players do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, like challenger players are probably ahead right now when it comes to the new patch. It's just good.
That is definitely
true.
You know, like you get a couple players, some challengers that are really good right now. You might be able to get a few fucking CDL points. You know, for sure, because they'll be ahead. They've been playing it for a while now. And it's not even like they're ahead by like a few days. They've been on that patch for like a couple weeks now, right? How long has it been since? How long have they been on that patch? They've been playing it for a minute.
Since Rake's been out.
Yeah, so it's like
week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's like they're moving right now. It's definitely, I would definitely, as Parasite would say, dip into challengers as well. I would definitely dip into there. But let's go into the listening with LA Thieves. This is the listening we were talking about where Sam thought they were shed. Let's take a look.
Weak all day. Market, okay? I have Robbie. You can bridge me. He's low. Assault time come low. Assault time come low. Get top 3 for me. Nice one more time code. Yeah, I'll get up there. I'm getting top 3. Top 3. One more time. I've got it out time. Boys. Probably Rebel. I think pitch before you. Before pitch. Nice shit, Joe. One more time. I'm gonna play Rebel. Nice shot. You got time? Could be.
This is insane right now.
We cover left side. They're coming left now. Yeah,
Okay, so I want to pause it there before we listen to the rest of it. They blacked out. Nobody was even saying what they were watching.
That's what I'm saying.
They completely blacked out. They even had I know Dan was watching like Red Side or something like that, but bro, mid alley is like the main spot. Like that's the one spot you can't let somebody run down is mid alley. Like that was.
To be fair, that's usually what the guy in Hill would watch. I think
it was a guy in Hill watching. He's watching top red.
Dan was watching it.
He was staying down. I think he was either weak or he
Dan calmed that he watched or that he had it, and then he turned to look red, and then Joe, who was top AC, just blacked out, and nothing happened.
Yeah, they blacked out.
It's just a hectic situation, but like it's not necessarily this situation that I'm critiquing. It's just the overall point.
Top red.
This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like harping on this specific moment in the map. This kind of thing is all the time in their hard point. And
I know
it's a glaring issue why they have one hard point win right now. It's just this happens a lot.
I know Ken's in the chat, and I feel you, Ken, that like obviously you look at the score right now and they're down a couple of hills. But I agree with Sam. Too often I watch Steve's play this game and they just clearly do not small talk well. They give up lanes, they get pinched, and they don't react well to information as well as other teams. And I think that's why they really struggle in this game.
But also
close maps.
Also, Ben, real quick, can you Tom, can you go back to when they get 4 dead and all of LAG is fun where like they are now? And like just look at where their arrows go and what they're looking at, even before the guy in red dies.
Okay, so this is 4 dead right here. Boom, 4 dead. Hills pop, but P1's popped up.
Okay,
one guy goes hill,
one guy goes red. That's fine.
Cammy goes red.
He's the one. Yep, he's playing everything. Look at number 3. Just keep watching him right now. All right, just keep watching.
So he's holding it's Afro and he's holding Coop right now.
Where and then all right, so he's holding Coop. Let's watch number 6 dies in red.
So Dan obviously has to turn.
He's still looking at Coop. He's still looking at Coop. He's still looking at Coop, and then it's too late. Bro, that guy was holding that pinch for 3 years when the guy top 3 could have easily just looked down and look and be like, oh, there's no one coming market. Give it up. Look, be cut. He's just doing nothing for 3 years, and then that's the gap that happens right there where they hit the hill. Like what the fuck?
There was multiple iterations of this play on this specific map too. I think was it Tom that you pointed out the P2 or the P5 with Cammy when he was pushed out on the P2?
Yeah. That was bad too.
Like,
that was bad as well.
For reference, so he doesn't have to go find it. Basically, LAT left one person on the P5 rotation, and then they realized it like 10 seconds late. So everyone on LAT gave up their cut to go help the guy in hill. All of LAG just ran through because now they have all the timings in the world and they break the hill. This exact situation from the listen happens again at the end of the game. LAT actually brings this map back. They end up losing by a couple points. They bring this map back.
I remember where it was. I'll pull it up. I just want to. I don't know if this is a nitpick. Just one thing. Like they have the hill, they have hill control. I just think Cammy and Red shouldn't be caught sprinting here because he's like running around in red. When I feel like that's a situation where he needs to just lay down, pop an iron sight and just let them.
They
run
also
into
know
him.
where he is because they called him a streak. That's why Afro ran inside because I think
that's
he's trying
fine.
to
I'm talking about afterwards. Like he's just sitting here still watching it. Guy spawns like he should have just like gave it up. Like there's no reason. The guy number 2, the guy that's top 3, he could have easily like checked it for himself. While the guy that died in red, the guy on the barrel could have watched it from B cut.
Yeah, and I'll find it now. I'll go and pull it up. But Pat, what are your thoughts overall on Thieves and LAG before I pull up this last play here?
Well, I mean, we did summarize Thieves need to blow it up, but I'm kind of still confused by this LAG squad. I know they went 2-0 today, but like, Chris, what do you think makes them so shaky? Like, how do they go from stints where they look good to they look
LAG?
Yeah, LAG. Like they look good, right? They looked like the best bottom team for a while. Then they looked ass, and then they come to LAN and they don't look terrible. Like
I think it's just a talent thing. It's like an inconsistency from a talent perspective. Like I mean, those guys are all good players in their own right, but like they don't have like a lot of bailout potential. In terms of like that talent aspect. So like if the scenarios aren't always going perfectly for them, it's just going to be harder for them to like compensate for it. On top of that, I think Adam at times he does play a little too slow. After they won their first series, like I noticed a lot of the times that they get into these habits whenever like let's say they're in a situation that is ideal for them, right? But they start to get broken down. Like let's say one of their players dies, he gets picked. They know the inevitable is going to happen, right? Their setup's going to get broken. they don't calculate in their head what the win condition is for this specific scenario. Instead, a lot of the time what they'll do is hope the other team scams. So they'll hold their setup stagnant as fuck, and then they'll end up getting pinched and broken. And I told them, like, you guys got to like always be proactive and figure out what's going to win you a scenario or win you the game, regardless if you're at a like in a bad situation, because they're just waiting. They're waiting a lot of the time for the other team to make a mistake, and that's why they're slow.
You said you told them? Are you like, are you closet coaching the squad?
Well, no, not closet coaching. Just for my friends. And sometimes if I notice something, I'm like, yo.
Man. Like, I didn't know if you were doing a little work on the side, Chris.
No,
I wouldn't hate on it. I wouldn't hate on it.
If like,
so this is what I wanted to show right here. So first, look what happens look at where LA Thieves is now, right? Like they're all together. New Hill's about to pop. They have the rotation, right? Don't like the play here from Joe when he comes off spawn. Like Hill just popped. He's sprinting mid alley, so he gets picked out the play like immediately. He's already at the play because he's getting caught sprinting mid alley. He spawns up pretty close. He could flood back in, but you can see how LAG, they just waltz right through the front of Hill, and two people are just out of the play. Nobody's there. Like,
what is Cam waiting for?
I don't know. Yeah, I think the biggest player here is Cammy, just sitting P2. Like, I just don't know how LAG just waltzes through front. Like, I should just jumped out the window, waltzed through front, shot him in the back, and called it a day. They look very lost, man.
But this
very
whole
lost.
situation is a comedy of errors because Joe is sliding the lane that fucking Dan's picking up. Cam's watching that cross and no one comes by. They just flood red because, like, Joe should probably watch that cross or the back cross. Like, I always hate this double diner setup, and they just get nothing off of it.
Bro, the more that I watch people play this like map, and like even just like play from like playing things in ranked or playing BPL, the more like useless I feel that diner side of the map is. I almost want a team to like go through diner and try to break me, because it's just better to maintain red control. Even if you like, let's say, lose pressure towards front diner, red control is everything. Top, bottom red, back red. The worst case scenario is having the other team spawn on the other side, like, and just trying to flooding in through that back door and pinching through mid, in my opinion. So like when you see Cammy holding it, yeah, maybe hold it for a little bit, but like once like one of your teammates dies, just give it up and like go flood. Like he's just sitting there for far too long.
Yep. And then also the round 11 in the map number 2 was insane. Just to show you guys kind of what happened here.
You got to put this in 0.25.
This was nuts. First, we'll show it in real-time speed, but take a look at the play that Fame makes here. So he hits through dark like a maniac, round 11, finds one, finds two somehow, finds three, and gets the 3-piece. I do not know how he found 3 kills there, walking out of dark. I have so many questions. I'm going to slow it down as well, just so you guys can see it firsthand, but gets one, somehow kills this guy here who was one shot, and then Cammy just fucks up on a trade, man, honestly. He just, probably a trade he should have got, and the fact that he just waltzed up dark and found 3 is insane. Like, it's dark. Dark has to be watched at all times.
Wait, who shot at him?
Cammy.
Like this okay.
Well, Dan was like top rugs or top blue, and like
the most insane.
But this is an insane clutch from Fame. Like,
bro, he's sprinting through dark in a round 11.
Around 11, yeah. No smoke.
No smoke. Just CSGO spray transfers my boys off the map, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that was an that's so insane.
Yeah.
But again, this has been indicative of Thieves' problems, bro. They struggle to close out these map control situations. The big plays happen on them, and it's really fun as LG team. It's like, for some reason, Invasion S&D, either they're losing maps in the most heartbreaking fashion, or they're fucking clutching up. And it's specifically to Fame. Think about in the last 2 weeks, we watched them blow a 1v2 with a fucking a streak. We watched MC clutch on Fame with a ninja defuse, and now Fame clutches with a fucking 3-piece on this map. It's actually kind of wild, the karma effect in play there. Yeah. The Dave Barlow.
Guys, any final thoughts on LA Thieves and LAG?
7-1 now, all time. Record's going up.
Yeah, the record is going up. What is it? It must be like a mental block.
Damn,
Sam, how many of you were against you? Sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to jump you like that. I was just curious. You're muted, Sam. You're muted, Sam. You're good. Don't worry about it.
I think it was like 2 or 3.
Damn.
We didn't play that many times. I
Did
think
you
it was
win any of
only.
them?
I don't think so.
He said, "This is what he said." You heard? He said, "I think only."
I think it was like 3 times. I never beat them on LAT.
Yeah, you gotta add 2.
Kenny's
I was farming those motherfuckers when I was on Seattle.
Kenny, how many was it, man? How many?
I was farming those motherfuckers on Seattle. Though.
Were you?
Yeah. Those were the only team. That was the only team I could beat on Seattle. I beat them 6 times in 1 year. It was great. Sorry, Pat.
Damn. Well, I was on the team.
Yeah, you were.
I was on the payroll. I wasn't on the team.
Nah, shit. Nah, you were on there for one of them.
Yeah, I remember that one, bro. Oh, I'll never forget this.
At London.
Bro, yeah, Yuli. Oh, bro, I think we got, it was 5-5. It was 5. No, it was 5-5. It was, what was that other map? Petrograd. It was 5-5. Last map.
Terrible map.
Last map, 5-5.
Get fucked.
And Yuli ran through a smoke, and I think ran into like Damon sitting in a smoke or somebody. Who was on your team? It was Damon, right?
Yeah, Damon was on the team.
Ran through a smoke. Round 11, mid-map.
That's when that event Enable was day trading.
That was it.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
Anyway,
no thoughts on He's nuts. All right, guys, no final thoughts. Pat, Ben, Chris, move on. You guys
Davincott had a nice bounce back series from yesterday. He played up to standard, I think. He's obviously their best player, so.
Who?
There's some other.
He's obviously their best player.
No, but what was the player you said? I didn't hear the player.
Diamond Con.
Yeah, Diamond Con's
Connor's
great.
been playing good this whole split.
Yeah, Connor's insane.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
I have a couple of nitpicky things about these, but I don't want them out on the show because I think they're probably going to make a roster change. So there's really no point in kind of circling the wagon on that. But I'm very curious to see what Thieves do with their roster because I think depending on if, like, say, a Seattle or a Boston get in the mix, I think Thieves is probably destination number 1 for most people. So they may be able to kind of control the next 72 to whatever hours after this event and figure out who they're going to pick up.
I mean, I think we've got to start having that conversation. But Sam, I think you chalked up the LA Thieves. I think you chalked them up. I think you retiring might have blew them up, Sam.
I fucked it.
You did.
I ruined the league.
No, he did. He fucked them, Pat. He did.
They got the cost cut. They
need
don't
you,
want. They're not investing as much. They lost their superstar. Then they lost their whole squad.
Yeah.
You chalked them.
Hey, but now I'm here talking about COD with you guys.
I mean, that's great for us. That's bad for them.
It is great for us. We love having you. We love having you here, Sam. It's a pleasure. But let's move on. Let's go to the next series here. We have the Miami Heretics going up against the Las Vegas Legion Slayer. Looks like we were right on this one, Pat. Looks like we were right here. Vegas come out in 3-0. The Miami Heretics. We'll take a look here at the stat sheet. What happened, guys? Did the Miami Heretics Vamos run out? I mean, Sam, you said that you were selling your Vamos card or some shit like that. Bucks. You know what I mean? What do you guys think happened? Ben, we'll start with you. Vegas Legion, they come out to play. Dylan had a great series. Attach went nuts. I thought Nero looked really good. To be honest, all of them, Purge got dumped on, but
it was a
they won 3-0, and he got his
one. Purge was getting his ones. It was a 3v3.
He was getting his ones. He kicked up in the next series, which is unfortunate because he played better and they ended up losing the next one. But Ben, what were your thoughts? Go ahead.
This team, like, really needs to win, like, map 2. I don't know if you guys recall some of the series they played this year, but, like, if they're not winning map 2 and if they lose map 1, they're getting 3-0'd. And they've had a couple of series this year where they've lost the first hard point, then they win the search and they kind of carry the momentum. I feel like this team I don't know. I feel like this team is super momentum based. And this weekend, I know Juan didn't have a great weekend, but like as a team in general, they kind of tossed a couple of searches in that control today as well to kind of get out of here. Some bad decision making as a team, and it's really disappointing because I thought they were a top contender coming into this event. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree.
I thought they were a top contender. Bro, their teamwork was looking unbelievable. They were taking down top teams, one of them being Optic. And then obviously Optic got their revenge on land, but just from online to land, it just looked like they had a huge fall off. To be honest,
you want to hear a crazy stat, Tom? So they've obviously played 9 series. When they have won map 2, they're 5-0. When they've lost game 2, they're 0-4.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean, so I got a little comparison for you guys. So you guys know how Madison Square Garden, right, where the Knicks play, is called the Mecca of basketball, right, Ben? I'm sure you're familiar.
Best arena in the world.
So for a very long time, this was like pre-CDL server cheese days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Florida was called the Mecca of online COD. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Yeah, you get a double No, you get the double Florida cheese. I know what
Bro,
fucking Pat's
yeah, I'm
talking
pretty
about.
sure
Is that tri-state, Pat?
That's a fucking donk cheese.
No, that's just the tri-state. There's different places. The tri-state was
okay.
the tri-state.
Gotcha, okay.
That was insane too. But Florida was the mecca. There was
Tri-state
people
is insane. I can't
in Florida that were running pockets from that state. And we know where the Miami Heretics are playing out of. And to
we play
me,
at neutral servers now. What?
no, bro, we play on
That's
like
not what
ping
it is,
cheese,
dude.
whatever. This team online looked way different to me than they looked here.
I don't agree, bro. Because look about the last 3 weekends. They got slammed, and they
Journey
2-0,
just had
and
a
they got slammed
0.5.
again. No, they're just.
That's not teams.
I just think this team is super momentum based. Like, I just think they got to figure out how to be a little more even keel in this series and figure out how to fall back on their teamwork and stop
But again, what
stop
do we?
not like being affected by
but here's
whatever
the
happens
thing.
in map 2, map 3.
Here's the thing. What do we talk about? You see, this is my problem. You guys always think online is strictly connection. What do we talk about with Huke and other players?
But I argue
There's a play style difference online and LAN, and I think this is a squad that benefits greatly from the online play style, which is a little bit more chaotic than LAN always is. My personal opinion.
You know that you know that, and we were talking about this earlier. You know that engagements and kills are actually up this weekend. And
That's
not
because
down.
that doesn't translate. That doesn't necessarily translate.
That's map
lightweight.
selection. That's a lot of things. But
Well,
it's
It's because literally everyone's using lightweight. No one's using people aren't using Ninja unless it's like maybe SMD.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
Games
say, bro,
plays
you
different.
guys are overlooking this shit. Bro, Journey got cooked this weekend. In both series that they lost, Journey was literally a non-factor, absolutely getting cooked. This team thrives when all of them
Purge
are
played
playing...
even worse though, Chris.
Yeah, okay, but
Purge
this
dropped
team,
down 0.5
but
for a
this team,
3-0.
this team thrives
Yeah.
when everyone on their team is playing like almost
Doing their
like the
25%.
same.
Yeah,
They're
every
25%.
team
No,
fucking
but
succeeds
the
when
reason
that's
is-
true.
The reason is because their play style, bro. Like because they play like very fast, very aggressive, very together. Like they take multi-chows all the time, and they usually just like flood, like the way they play. If you're doing that, or even like, or maybe they're not even doing that in the way they're playing right now, and let's say one person isn't putting in damage. Look at Journey's like damage gap. Yeah, he wasn't even shooting back. Like he's not existent. Like he's literally not a part of their system when they're playing this way. If he's putting up those stats, he got cooked, bro. Like obviously, it could be a way bigger issue, but one person getting cooked in both your series and even having some relatively close maps still, like he just played. He played like shit, and he's probably the reason why they struggle to win any maps.
I mean, I also think, again, I want to go back to the map 2 thing. I think this team gets exposed by the fact that they don't have like a superstar kind of like let me kind of circle back. I think in their S&D specific problem is this team has a tremendously difficult time finding first bloods, especially on offense. They have to look at the defensive numbers too, but I think watching them the last 3 series, especially on Invasion, the amount of times I'm watching them go down 3-4, and I know that Invasion offenses are not above 50% right now. Like I know it's hard to win, but they got to find some kind of advantage. And I'm looking up right now. After the end of this split, their first blood percentage across all maps right now is 38%, which I think is, I mean, you guys would agree that probably is way too low, right?
Yeah, it's fucking ass.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty low, Ben.
It's garbage. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going. Pat, what were your thoughts on the Miami Heretics and fucking Vegas Legion? I just got a few clips I'm gonna pull up from the series because is doing some crazy shit.
I predicted this to be a Purge Legacy Series time, and I think it was. He's the first player now to have the worst KD in a win ever, all time. So
You're
that's
hella
as a
smart,
legacy.
Pat. You're never
Milestones,
wrong, Pat.
Milestones.
Yeah. It's also the first, I think, 3v4 victory we've ever seen in the CDL.
3v3. Journey got fraud.
Not as bad though. Not as bad.
They got cooked pretty bad in this series.
He got cooked pretty bad.
But isn't that crazy? You're saying he got cooked pretty bad and he still had 12 more kills than Purge? Isn't that
they had
wild
like
to
similar
think
damage
about?
though, to be fair.
I don't buy
had
that.
more
But
interactions to him, but like the difference is
Big damage guy over here, Pat. I like
yeah,
damage.
It was definitely a 3v3 series for sure.
either way, to me, both these squads are 8 through 12 now, in my opinion. I just think the Vegas is higher than the Miami Heretics. And I'm back on my train of I'm not being fooled by the Heretics anymore.
The only thing, Pat, that I will say to that, I agree with you right now. I just don't know where to put Miami in Vegas. We'll get to that later. I also think the game is going to change a lot when people get back, and it's going to benefit people that put in a lot of hard work over the next 2 weeks. to try and I mean, you fucking hate on COD, I agree, but like really get ahead so they can win their first 3 or 4 matches before other people kind of figure out what the fuck's going on, especially in Hardpoint.
Yeah. A few clips going on in this one. One of them is Nero. I mean, he was just going insane all day. I mean, he was definitely feeling himself. This was a big round from him. Just to highlight some individual moments from some of these guys. Nero, he finds... Actually, you guys missed the first kill. Let me back it up a little bit so you guys can see everything. But Nero, not afraid to make a play in search. He's going to get aggressive through the middle of the cup. Finds one. Thought the snaps here with the rival were phenomenal. Finds another one. And you see Vickle, he tries to come in for the trade, and he snaps onto him as well. Just really good plays from Nero. Ends up picking up the AR as well, and picking up the trade over here on this last kill. So really good shots coming from Nero. You can see he's getting all hyped up. And so Nero was
rank play paying off for Z there.
Yeah. We got Kenny saying, Ray Gun, man, this narrative, this narrative's going on. I can make a montage off of some of these MCW clips I've seen today. Sam, come on, Sam. Come on.
Don't come on saying me, bro.
No, I heard what you said before, Sam. I heard what you after that Diamond Con kill in Terminal in books. No, it was you. It was you.
Deepfake AI. On me.
And then the next one, Dylan Attach with the 1 versus 3. I think I said at this moment when it was Dylan by himself, I said I've seen this a million times. Dylan Attach got this in the bag. And that's what he does. He finds the 1v3. I'll speed it up for you guys. Just so he gets one. He wraps Chicken Coop. Then he hits through mid-alley here. And I think this was just a really big kill here. I don't know who he ends up killing. It was a guy top 3.
Hobby.
So it was Vickle. Just overchows. He shouldn't have overchowed Dill there. He should have just kept throwing some shimmies. But he tries to do it. He didn't. I don't know if he was really chowing. I think he was shimmying and just over shimmied and just over peaked it. But he gets ripped. He gets ripped off of the heady. Apologize for the quality. I don't know. It says 1080p, but that shit don't look like 1080. I'm gonna be honest. This shit looks like garbage. And then Attach pops up, and he finds the 3rd kill. So just really big plays from Attach. Just individual moments from these guys really showing out. Purge also had a 1v3. I don't have that clip because can't show more than 120 seconds, and I'm trying to go back and find everything. But Purge played good in the search as well. They all really had their moments, but. Yeah, a couple clips there from the Vegas Legion. Any other thoughts, guys, on the series? Anybody?
I'm disappointed by Miami. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
to be
Miami has to figure this out because their first 2 matches when they get back are Toronto and FaZe.
Damn, that is not who you want to play, bro. That is
not an ideal fucking major 2 drop for Miami.
Hell no. Definitely not. Pat, Chris, any final thoughts on the Miami-FaZe series? Miami continue to struggle. I mean, unless you guys want to talk about roster changes, I don't know if Miami's going to make any changes. I doubt it, to be honest, to see.
They had Eric Boom on their team, and then, well, they still have him. He's a sub, and I guess I don't know why they, got rid of him for Journey at the beginning of the year. I think it was before any matches played, but, I mean, that's always on the table. At the end of the day, I mean, we'll see if they stick with their same team. I mean, it's been working for them online. Maybe they just feel like they had a slow land, and they go at it for another stage. But I mean, it's just kind of. I mean, I was really hype on this roster going into land, man. I picked them to win pretty much every series, and they let me down every single time. So
shit.
Yep, I was just asking. Somebody said why. I was just asking the question, see if anybody thought they should make a change. I mean, based on how they are as a team and their culture and everything. I don't know. I just don't see them changing. And they've had moments going into the event. Everybody thought they were a top 4 team, top 5 team. So it's now it's they come out, they go to land, they get smoked. They're probably just gonna have to go back, learn from it, reflect from it, and try and come back better next time. So unfortunate exit for the Miami Heretics, but they end up falling. They get eliminated. What was the overall placing? What was it? Top 8 or they?
Miami
they got dead last.
They got dead last.
Baby.
You're right. They got last. LA Thieves got last.
New York,
bro. New York.
And
damn.
Boston
one's crazy, yeah.
Well, that's the next one here. We got Seattle Surge going up against the Boston Breach. This one goes all the way down to a last map, which we got to talk about Boston's last map. It was atrocious. But Ben, I'm going to let you kick things off. I'm going to go get a bottle of water because I need some. Go ahead, Ben.
Bro, I mean, my take on this series is the 2 veteran players had a couple of great maps between them. I thought that they were contributing, but I think to Tom's point, I did always with this Boston franchise. We get to game 5 and all of the IQ points go out the fucking window. And we saw some real tragic plays out of Cap and Snoop to get absolutely slammed last map. I don't know if you guys agree or.
I definitely agree. I watched Capsule miss a jump 6 times and then die, and then drop the bomb in the middle of the map. And there's I mean that's the game 5. We'll get there, but yeah, Preston and Austin had great series today. Slasher was fucking frying.
If I'm Austin, I'm sick.
I'm pissed. I'm fucking livid.
Austin had a legacy series and he lost.
He fucking fried today.
Yeah,
and unfortunately it did not work. But yeah,
damn,
Austin was doing it all.
Yeah,
that 1.4. Oh, I'm livid.
And it
plus
wasn't even
30, 1.45, most damage in the lobby. Did it all.
Crazy in 5 maps.
Yeah,
that guy was doing it.
I mean, even watching him today, you can tell he was just locked in, just fucking, literally just beaming everything. Bro.
Think about it this way.
Played aggressive too.
He had more kills than Capsule than Purge even got in his entire series.
Bro, the thing is though, like looking at
my bad, Purge.
Looking at like the stats, at least damage wise and stuff like that, it's hard to like look at the stats and like blame anyone specifically, just because they did lose 2 searches. So like, and obviously with like KDs and stuff like that, and damage, right? That you're going to contribute a lot less to the stats leaderboard in search and destroy than you would in playing a respawn. They chose. I think the 4th map was very winnable, but all this comes down to their S&D gameplay. Their S&D gameplay for a team with Slasher on it. I'm not blaming Slasher. I'm saying that like obviously like he's a good S&D player. They've just been lackluster in search like this whole time, and I don't really know why, because I feel like looking at their team objectively, they should all be good. They should be good at search.
They have 4. I don't think that Austin wants to play S&D the way that his sub duo wants to play S&D. Cap is like very much a playmaker, like high, low kind of thing, and Austin is like very by the book, spread, get info, play accordingly. And if you watch this game 5, Cap is fucking sprinting. It was
bad, bro. Sprinting everywhere.
And like that, they just need to get on the same page in S&D. And I think that like, again, I've teamed with Austin. I've watched Austin play extensively throughout, my time in COD, and he's always played S&D the exact same way. And I think last year when he was on FaZe, he had fucking Tyler Abizi using First Blood, and it was super effective every game. And I think that like that philosophy, how he's trying to do it now, or if he's letting Cap do something similar, and it's just not fucking working, because it's just there. It was like genuinely, I felt bad watching their game 5.
Can I back you
it
up
was
on
fucking
that too,
bad.
Sam? Which is FaZe also last year were also affected at playing Austin style when they wanted to, especially on Philo. Like if they want to slow it down, spread, like cover all lanes and then play mid map, like once they got Deddy Pop, they would, and they were very effective at it. I agree. You watch his Boston team play, and today it was a lot of scamming to give up First Bloods, but in general, this entire split, watching them play Search, they were the least fundamentally sound team in Search, and I'm looking it up right now. They have the lowest First Blood win percentage of the league. They have thrown in 11 maps, 20 rounds in Search, but they were up 4v3. And we have talked time and time again on the show that at this level, you cannot get people like 2 or 3 freebies around a map in Search.
I also say, just watching them, everything, they were just so stagnant too. Like they weren't doing anything together. Like Snoopy was just getting caught. It wasn't just Capsule. I felt like they weren't even like coordinated in their rounds. Yeah. Like they were just all over the map. Like there were a few rounds, even in situations like 2v2s, 2v3s. They're so separated. Like you could see what the other team's doing. They're comboed together, running around together, working trades, playing as a unit. You have one guy on high rise. You have one guy fucking on one side of the map, and the other guy on the other side of the map. For Boston, they're just getting picked out one by one. It's like no coordination, no teamwork, and I think that's gonna bite you.
It's super frustrating because I think Pat, you'll agree to it because you made the point. I think it was last episode before. This Boston team plays up so well when they play FaZe. Game 5. They play New York. They play them well. They beat Toronto. When they play these teams that are in the top end of the league, they play fucking fantastic Call of Duty. But when they play these teams in the mid to low pack, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know if they're not going as hard because they're like expected to win the series. I don't know what happens. But as soon as they stop playing those caliber of teams, all bets are off. And I don't know what the reasoning is for that, because when you watch these guys play good teams, they play so good. They play fucking awesome COD. And then when they're not playing the good teams, they fucking look like this.
I don't know why that is.
Ego, or maybe it's just like an ego or like a respect.
It has
thing.
To be a mentality thing. Like it just has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Like they're trying to do too much when they're playing these teams that they should be beating. And then when they play good top of the line teams, they actually focus on playing the right way and playing good COD. And It shows, bro. It really does show. Pat, what about you? What are your thoughts on Boston Breach and Seattle Surge? Boston Breach eliminated from their own major, Pat.
I anticipate this Boston team to make a change because I think this squad, and not just the roster itself, but the franchise wants to build a winning team, a winning culture. This result to me is unacceptable. And it's obviously unacceptable. Like you can't come out and get a performance like this out of your oldest veteran on your team, like having a prime MVP performance and you losing to one of the shakiest teams in the game just because you're fucking dog shit at search. To me, like there is a level that they can improve. Don't get me wrong. Like they can fix some of these issues, but I'm taking the opportunity to pack a punch. I'm not looking back, and I'm upgrading.
Bro, Pat, you know what the craziest thing is? This series they lost against Seattle. They lost to New York in almost the exact same way.
Yeah.
Fucking last weekend. Literally, they won map 1.
It's pack a punch time.
What would you do, Pat?
They won the control.
I said on the show I think it was a few weeks ago, that my order of changes for this squad would be Capsule 1, Priest at 2, and Snoopy 3.
I actually think P-Dog's been playing good.
No, but I said Snoopy because Snoopy is their like young, super high ceiling. He's still unknown, right? Like he could turn into be a beast in another year, right? This is his real first year of competing in the CDL. Yeah. So I give him more time, right? Like I don't get rid of him just because there could be a ton of upside there. And Priesta is not my first one to go either. But it is Cap. Cap's been bounced around in the league a little bit. He's went, pro league to challengers to that Florida squad. He's just been around. And to me, he's never proven enough to be like a consistent, a consistent just force for this squad and what they need, right? Like don't get me wrong. There's not like a ton of superstar caliber SMG players that those don't just go around, but I think they could get someone that is more consistent and would probably help them in search because it would get them on a pace that probably makes a little bit more sense for how this team likes to play. Given that we're talking about typically how Austin's teams tend to play. So for me, I'm making a change. I don't see the world where this team sticks and just massively gets better and jumps in that top 4. So for me, I'm making an upgrade ASAP.
We don't need superstars. Like teams don't need superstars right now. Like theirs are hard to come by. People need to understand that you look at some of these teams, and at the end of the day, yeah, you want to make a winning culture, but realistically, there's only going to be a couple of top 4 teams. You got to work to get there. You got to build the players up and evolve, but you got to have a good foundation first.
Yeah.
And if you're having players that are having discipline issues, et cetera, you got to pick up some people that are going to play discipline. You got to pick up some people that are hungry to learn, hungry to win, and not just like people that are going to go rogue and throw their lives away and do all that stuff.
But you need talent, Chris. Like I wouldn't necessarily agree saying you don't need superstars because
okay.
I personally disagree with that. I think you do.
Let me put it.
You need
stars, put this in a
not
different
superstars.
light. Let me put this in a different light. Okay, Capsule can go into challengers. Okay, and he could have similar success as to maybe somebody on LAG like Estriel. Right?
Yeah.
But Estriel is a better player, and he's playing better in the league. Why? Because he fundamentally is just understanding teamwork, and he molds with his team. So example, that's what I'm saying. Cap, yeah, he might be talented and stuff like that, but that's why you got to stop looking at it from just a pure talent perspective. All these players that are down there are talented in their own right. But if they're not molding or fitting with your system or listening or progressing as a player, like it doesn't matter. You got to get rid of them and try somebody else. Even if like you look at that player and be like, oh, dude, we know this guy might not be the best player in the world or the best player in challengers right now. Let's like still give him a shot. It's worth a try.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. You sure about Estriel as a choice in your example on this one?
Well, I'm saying Estriel because Estriel is like, I'm going to compare LAG. I'm using LAG as a comparison because like LAG is a team of challenger players that were good, but they weren't like, they weren't like the champs. Like they haven't won none of them have won challenger champs, et cetera, and like except for Connor in 2019. Like so, you put Capsule in challengers, it's like you could pretty much say that he could have similar success to like any of those players. He got picked up in the league for a reason. That's why I'm using Estriel as like a comparison. Because Estrel's been good in challengers, but he hasn't been like the world's greatest like in challengers.
Like I get what you're trying to say.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. You want people to get picked up because they're good, smart COD players that make good plays instead of somebody who's just going off, dropping a bunch of kills, just getting cracked.
Exactly.
You know,
yes,
but
yeah, exactly.
You know, and there's that. You know, there's times where I feel like it goes hand in hand. Like the more talented players usually are the smarter COD players for the most part. But you know, it's about picking the right cream of the crop. To be honest with you, it's about just picking the right ones.
MW3 is just a teamwork based game. Like it's literally.
But
like
I don't think Capsule. I think
Capsule.
Capsule's a good player. To be honest, I mean,
I do too.
You know, like I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know if they should just try and make a packet punch. I don't know if I agree with making a change like so early, bro. Just because I feel like they could have won these series. Like some of these series they could have won. It's just they're just at a bad spot right now. And if they're gonna make a change, they have to be confident on the change for sure. Because I felt like Snoopy and Capsule, like it's a promising duo. I
don't see it, Tom. I think we've seen enough from that duo that I just think they're going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over. And I think they need a little bit more discipline because I think you can basically like kind of do what New York did with Paco, bro. You know that Snoop's got that takeover potential. You kind of build around that play style. They need someone in that third spot to be a better decision maker.
Who would you guys get? Let's name some names.
Bro, the same thing as New York, bro. If you put a sub who will run at pace with Snoop and make smart decisions like Asim,
but name
he's
some
got an
names.
AR sub and a hand, they'll be good. I think Asim would be literally a perfect fit for this team.
What about everybody else? What are some names that you guys think?
Yeah, there's just a lot of like names you could try, bro. There's just tons of them. Like there's Asim, there's Kremp. You look at your FaZe Black team. You look at the teams underneath them. You got players like Noisy, players like Dak. Those guys have all found some sort of success down there.
Yeah.
You got There's tons of players, bro.
What about Pentagram? Yeah, he's on this
Pentagram's
squad.
been there. Blah blah blah.
He's on it.
They literally have this guy. Like they could just sub him in.
Didn't that happen to him though, or who did it happen to? Where it was a sub and they didn't get an opportunity and they picked up somebody else. It's like teams pick up subs for no reason.
That happened to Pentagram before, didn't it?
Pentagram's been a sub for like multiple teams, never got a single shot, and then didn't get re-signed the next year as a sub. Like he went to a different team as a sub.
He was our sub in Vanguard.
But that's my point. Like they could just
that makes no
dude,
sense.
like they could just test it, right? Like, hey, Cap, we're subbing you out for this weekend, just to like, you know what I mean, just to see. Before they have to commit to some major change. They have a guy who's been dominant in challengers for a few years, and he plays probably the role that would benefit them. Like, to me, I feel like there's no downside to trying that. Like, even before you commit to some massive roster change where you sign someone else. Like,
yeah,
I feel like it could test their upside.
And
for free.
What about the Seattle Surge? How do you guys feel about Seattle? Because they look really shaky to me, man. I was surprised they won this series with the way it was going. To be honest, with you guys.
These guys have always been a good search team. I basically looked at their roster and I was like, if they're going to win series, most of the time it's probably going to be off S&D. Illy played phenomenal today. He played in that match. Outside of that, I'm still just not sold on the entire team, and I still think they are at this point counting their blessings with whatever win they can get. But these guys have got to make a change. I think they just need more slaying power and more consistency if they want to hang with the top teams and not just rely on search. Because I just don't think that's like you just can't rely on one game mode to carry you in a series. And I think Illy is probably the reason why their search is going to be so good. And regardless of who he gets on his team, he could probably mold them into being a good S&D team. But outside of that,
they have no slaying power.
They're getting slammed tomorrow unless Kyler and Alec pick it up. Inder had a tough first couple maps and rallied in the series. Like what I've seen from Abuza across both these series, even though I know he hasn't put up amazing numbers, the damage has been there. They need Kyler to be the force he was online. I don't think we're going to get that. And they need Alec to step up to the level we've seen in the past. Otherwise, once they start playing better teams, and
it's a lot of needs, Ben.
It's a lot of needs, and it's not to disrespect the team they just played, because I think Seattle did a good job against Boston, like again rallying in the middle of the series, getting it done. But they're going to start playing a better caliber opponent based on the way the bracket draw is working here.
Bro, I gotta say something, because dude, like some of the people that just put their opinions in the chat that are just so insane. This guy said, y'all remember when NYSL gave Wardy a weekend trial and all these dudes lost their minds? Now they want Boston to do it. What kind of example is that? They
wasn't that in a situation where New York could have got like a 1 seed?
They just wanted to try out Wardy. Like they gave them a free match because they were godlike. This is a fucking like This is a team that needs to make a roster change.
Nah, he's getting one guy. Pat's getting one guy. It happens. It happens to me.
People are
Happens to me.
insane. People are insane, Tom. They're you like it's not even the one guy. It's just you see some like comments that are just like, what goes through your head sometimes? You know what I mean?
They need to be educated, Slay. It's why we're here on the flank. You know, we could tell them these things. You know, or sometimes people, you know, they don't have to listen. You know, but I mean, I agree. Two different situations for sure. Also, Pentagram's been a sub. How long has Pentagram been a substitute for?
Like 6 fucking years.
His whole
Bro,
career.
this guy's been a sub for fucking 5 years, bro. Somebody put this guy in the game.
Actually, now that I think about it, though, that would suck for Doug. That'd be like every teammate he's ever had getting called up, and he's.
Wait, Doug likes that shit, and he says he loves it, dude. He's like, yeah, dude, I want to like get more. You know,
I mean, I'm sure Doug does like it, and that feels good for him. But shit.
Everybody's saying pick up Doug. People want to see Doug Spencer Martin back in the league, man.
I don't think Doug would be a good fit for the way this team wants to play. I think, and I like Penta, but I also don't think he'd be a good fit for this team. They need a sub or a flex AR who can play quick and make smart plays, and they will play around Snoop, and they will be nasty at search. They'll be way nastier at fucking respawn. This team will actually play better.
Doug can fit in his team, bro. Snoopy will be twice the player with Doug on his team.
Doug's a main AR now.
Nah, he's good. He can go back to a sub.
I agree. Doug is a smart SMG.
I think ASIM would actually be a good fit just because ASIM does play quick and he's not afraid to throw his life away. But he's also smart, so he's gonna play like guarantees. Like he's gonna play like the cruddy angles and like just make sure that there's shit wide.
I'm happy that
just like the way that Preston will play, and I think it will make their like mini map look way less chaotic than it is right now.
I'm happy that ASIM's been streaming his POV and challenges a lot too, because I feel like people are starting to see it now.
How are they doing this weekend?
They haven't lost yet. I've been keeping up with them. We've been updated. They've been so far so good. They've been frying.
For the top teams, Pat, there's no good matches until Saturday.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a little worried because it is best of threes, bro. Which is like I don't know.
Until when?
Usually Saturday, the first match you'll play will be against a decent team.
Well,
in a best of 3?
Well, I'm watching challengers right
now.
Unless
they changed it.
Boston's in a really gritty fucking match right now, like last map fucking control. So there might be some upsets.
I heard Boston was losing to like a random.
Like
team.
the Boston Breach, like Doug Spencer Martin in them, or are they live? Is it live?
Well, I'm currently watching a map and Doug is 4-15. So
Doug's on 4-23.
They're streaming that?
Yeah, where's it being streamed?
There's a stream for it.
Is that on YouTube? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on Boston Breach YouTube.
So I can't even pull that up, probably, huh?
Boston Breach has a YouTube
Definitely
channel?
cannot do that.
I was gonna say it's going to a live look.
Definitely
cannot
do
live from the flank. But Jesus, 450. Jesus Christ, Slay. I don't know if Doug's the right fit for his team now. I don't know if he's the right fit, man. I think Asim's a great fit. Cramp, obviously, the FaZe Black guys are really good.
And they have good knowledge of Cramp. He used to be on this roster, so not this version of this roster, but like with this coaching staff.
This was a team that Asim could have been on. I know this is a team Asim was talking to, Carolina, Vegas, like all these teams. These are all teams that Asim was talking to, and he just ended up just not getting on the team. And then he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna turn my stream on every day, play challengers." Show people what I can do, and it's been nice.
Wait, they're not playing against a random team. Somebody in chat said that. I just looked at it because I wanted to see who they were playing against. They're playing against God Bowser. He's like my friend that I play ranked with.
Wait, hold on.
His name is God Bowser.
You can't say they're not playing against a random team and they go,
wait,
they're playing against God Bowser.
These guys are actually like competitive. Like they're signed by the same org that Pristini's signed. Like Pristini's on. Like they have two teams.
Pristini's still playing?
Huh? Yeah, he's playing Rainplay the other day. Yeah, he's in Challengers, right?
Pristini? Yeah, Pristini. He plays Challengers.
I thought he retired years ago.
Nah, he's
Chat's lost because they only either know big name teams or they just know pro league teams. But God Bowser and them, they're not a bad Challenger team. They're not like they shouldn't be as good as Doug's team, but they're not bad.
Well, Doug's team just won offense on fucking high-res control, so my clutch is up. We'll see.
Listen, Doug, you can't look at the scoreboard when it comes to Doug. You just gotta look at the plays he's making. He's on
exactly, Tom.
It's the unselfishness.
Because he might be 6-16, but those 6 are efficient kills.
And he's probably he's sitting in hills, bro. He don't get into a lot. He does all the dirty work.
Keep in mind, those 16 deaths.
Bro, like how do you think Snoopy would do if he's like, don't worry, I got the hill, Snoop, go fly, do your thing, bro. Do every hill.
That is the thing about Doug. We were talking about like him being excited for his teammates to get called up. I mean, like there's a reason too. Like he intentionally wants his teammates to look better than him. That's how he plays.
Yeah, that's how he plays, bro. He plays.
You could say to some extent Lamar plays that way too, right? Like
Bro,
Lamar also is like, I'm getting in the hill, go. Like he said that before.
Crowder was like that. Crowder was, Crowder did every little dirty work thing. You didn't have to worry about it, bro. Ever.
Like,
bro.
if you were playing, you would be doing the same thing.
Bro, I love Doug. How many challengers events online or land do you think he's won on Boston Academy?
Okay,
but he has the highest placings though out of all the challenger players.
Oh sure, but like how many wins does he have online or land?
I mean, none. But again, if the same argument, Atlanta FaZe had none in what game was it? Vanguard, right? No. The Atlanta FaZe squad. They like won no events, but they had the highest average placing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the.
Okay, well let me spin it to you this way,
like it doesn't always tell the whole story.
How many grand finals has Doug made it to on Challengers Land?
I mean, I couldn't tell you, but I know he's got the highest. But I know he's got the highest average placing. Wait, but the highest average placing?
But we're not gassing Doug, bro.
That's typical.
That's what I'm saying. Like this fake fucking Doug. Like I love Doug. Don't get me wrong, nice guy, but like it's not like the Boston Academy team is getting amazing.
Highest. Wait, what do you mean? Don't they have the highest conversion rate from putting talent into the league?
I mean,
he's not. He's definitely not. But think about it. Think about what you're saying.
They keep calling people up and then dropping it 3 months later.
But Ben, think what you're saying though. Doug is making rosters and challengers, players constantly year after year getting called up from his squad, and his squad repeatedly year after year has the highest average placing of all the teams. Like, there's something to that. There's something to that.
Fucking third, but did I?
I mean, shit.
We're tipping thirds and challengers.
I'm tipping the highest average placing overall in the entire CDL.
Wait, that's not bad. I'm not. Listen, bro. But the thing is, you're gassing the wrong thing.
Bro, there's people like Gunless who's getting like 12th and 16th.
Like Doug is not the worst player in the world, and yes, he does know how to like place well and like, you know, like make talent better and get talent noticed. But like, you're not gonna say he's like a super league caliber player.
Nah, I definitely think there's other. I mean, listen, just so people know my opinion. I definitely think there's other players who I would get. A lot of them on FaZe Black. Yeah, a lot of them on FaZe Black. To be honest with you, but and a few of them not on FaZe Black that I can think of. Just a lot of people got to start looking into challenge. I agree, Chris. I think more CDL teams need to start looking into challengers because I feel like a lot of them don't even like know what the fuck's going on.
Boston up 2-1, by the way.
That's phenomenal. But
yeah, they're about to win this map. It's over.
Yeah, keep us with the updates on the Boston.
They won.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, 2-1.
Okay.
Jesus.
Let's go into the last series of the day, and then we'll give our predictions for tomorrow. Because tomorrow we got some fucking bangers, man. It's gonna be crazy tomorrow. I can't wait. But let's take a look at the last series. Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against the Las Vegas Legion. This was a 3-2 finish, a reverse sweep. From the LAG Vegas, they go up 2-0 in the series. It's looking good, but they get reverse swept yet again. That was a heartbreaker for me. You know, I love the guys over at Vegas, my boy Dylan Attach, and I just don't know how they threw it away, bro. I just felt like they should have won the series. They can't win a control, and I just feel like it's hurting them so bad. And even Israel said it in the interview. He's like, well, we knew when we were down 0-2, their asset control, so we knew that was a dub. And then after that, it was just easy sailing, you know, take it one map at a time, and that kind of just sparked the whole comeback. So clearly the control problems with Vegas are being taken advantage of, and it's hurting them, man. It's fucking hurting them. Purge had a way better series, but they lost. So it was just unfortunate for the Vegas Legion. LAG, I know Sam, Ben, you guys are talking about their ice and how their ice is terrible. There was a moment in that series in the control where we thought Vegas was going to 3-0. It was over with. And you guys were like, yep, LAG, their ice, their shit. Their ice is shit. They can't do it. And then they come back and they reverse the sweep the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, Fame somehow got 2 kills off the A point on control and high rise from his spawn. And then I think Dylan just had an absolutely tragic team nade.
Yeah,
when a potential trade could have happened.
The team nade was very tragic. Yeah. It was very hectic at the end of that high rise too. Just nades flying everywhere, constant trades. Like you're just coming off spawn on offense, running through blue, just hitting it over and over and over again. And on defense, you're coming off spawn, jumping out the windows, throwing tags blue, and just trying to flood the hill.
Yeah.
And it's just it was just going back and forth. But Ben, start things off. What happened to Vegas? And what are your thoughts on LAG? What are your thoughts on the series and both teams? What are your thoughts?
Tom, how many reverse sweeps do you think Vegas has been the unfortunate victim of this year?
I don't know. And that's
the answer is 3.
They're also we pulled that up. They're the all-time leader in the entire league. They've been reverse swept like 7 times and haven't done it once.
We have seen time and time again in this league over many of the years in the CDL and probably going back to CWL. If you cannot win the swing game mode with CTF for a while, uplink, fucking control, I don't care. You are just going to be susceptible to losing momentum in the series. Team may get their best fucking hardpoint map because they took Team B in a series in that 4th map, and suddenly all momentum is out the window. This Vegas team just cannot close because they're not reliable in control. And they had a chance to win this control too. And there was an unfortunate team kill that happened in round 5. Like after that, LAG kind of had some life and they actually clutched up map 4. And then map 5 was an absolute snooze. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was.
By the way, swing game modes, real ones remember War, Sabo, and Demolition. Just saying. Just saying. Best swing game mode of all time is War.
You better than uplink?
War?
I think up.
Yeah.
That shit was in
We're not
black and
gonna talk
white.
about Blitz.
That
here,
shit was
fuck
in.
that
What
shit.
the
Nah,
fuck
Blitz
is
was
War?
not-
What is that?
Wait, Tom, you never played War?
No, what is that? What game is War? What is War?
World of
What is that?
War. It's originated in World of War.
I know Sabotage. I know Demo. What the fuck
Sabo's
is
got
War?
like Demo's got
War is
Tom.
basically like tug. What's the?
It's just like tug of war.
Tug of
Tom,
war. There you
I'll
go.
give you a
It's the
little
same
rundown.
concept.
God,
Tom.
how does that even make any sense?
Tom, think about
You
this.
capture flags as you push back your spawn.
Tom,
Okay,
there's 5 flags on the map, and it's in a
Okay.
basically a straight line. It's not always a straight line.
Okay.
But the first flag starts in the middle. If you cap the middle, you go to like the next flag on their side. Then you cap that one. Then you go to the last flag on their side. You have
Okay.
to, and the first one to cap all 3 wins. And there's something called momentum. Like as you build up kills, your team will rack up like momentum, and momentum will allow you to cap flags faster.
Okay. So
Best game mode of all time for a swing mode. Best
question
game
for
3.
you,
Can't believe they
question for
never
you.
brought it back.
It
You
can,
heard of
once you
uplink?
take a flag,
Yeah.
well, I got a question, man.
we're smart
Once you
though.
take the flag, once you capture the flag, can the opposing team capture that flag back?
Yeah, you have to push back.
They have they have to capture the one that's new. Like there's only one active flag on the map at all times, right? There's just 5 locations. So like if I cap the middle one, Tom, and I push you into your base a little bit, you can cap that flag, and you would push it back to the middle. Like you're constantly pushing the flag to each side.
Right. So, bro, that
godlike.
can go on for fucking 8 years. That could go on forever.
No, it has an overtime. If it's like a 10-minute round, and overtime is one neutral flag in the middle in
That's
the
fire.
OT round. Godlike.
Okay, I like that. That sounds
Godlike.
pretty dope. I mean, listen, I'm a big uplink guy, especially in AW, Black Ops
Best
3.
game mode of all
like
time.
uplink, it was just fire. The
Hey,
interceptions, the pace, the
over would go
passing,
crazy
the
on War.
globetrotting,
The
the
over
fucking-
would go crazy.
although I mean I remember like bro, sometimes you would just like beat someone like if you just fried them off the rip, got them in a trap, got streaks, GG.
Yeah.
War was fun in pubs. It was in like Vanguard.
Bro,
and shit. I think it's in this game. It's in this game, right?
Nah, it's the tank version of War. It's like it's similar, but it's the big tank one.
Yeah. I
But
played that one time.
they took the name, but it's not the same mode. But I'm telling you, bro, like I actually played in World at War. Like we were competing, dude. That was everyone that, and there's a lot of people that's still around. Like that was the best game mode that we had by far. It was a blast.
It was fun to play.
Anyway, Vegas got no fucking ice.
Yeah. What happened with Vegas today, guys? What happened? They didn't ice up. I mean, they just choked, to be honest with you. I felt
3
like they
reverse
choked.
sweeps is unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said it before we went live, Tom, while you were talking to your chat. It was like 2 reverse sweeps. We're like, look, man, they're putting themselves in real winnable spots. If they just get a couple gunfight wins here and there, this could be a very different outlook on the season. Like they're putting themselves in good positions. 3, blow it up.
Blow
No,
that
they
shit up,
definitely
bro.
they just need to make roster changes in general, just simply because they're putting themselves in winnable positions, but like these maps are too tight for how well like they are playing as a team. I feel like they just need to get rid of one person. They need to get rid of Purge.
They might need 2 changes because bro, my boy Dylan Attach, shout out to him, played phenomenal this land, but got fucking hard costed by his team.
There's
been
no
good.
reason to make 2 changes. I feel like Nero has been Nero
The
is
Dill
still
duo
the same.
has been godlike all year.
Yeah, and then Standy, yeah, he's had his inconsistencies, but Standy's still playing fine. I think again,
Standy's
it
been
goes
good.
it goes back to the same thing with these other teams. You need a strong foundation. If you can get 4 players that are going to be contributing on a relatively consistent basis, and maybe you have one-offs where like every other player maybe shits the bed, right? You can argue like, oh, he played bad, this guy played bad. Okay, that is when it's a team issue. But if one person on your team is usually consistently playing bad and they have maybe one standout series every once in a while,
Yep.
you just have to get rid of them, bro. You need to find another piece that's gonna bring some consistency to the
So
team.
is it goodbye Purge?
Yeah.
It might
I
be,
hate
at
like
least.
it
Might be,
genuinely
yeah.
feels bad that every time we see a team like struggling, we're just like immediately roster change. But like in just how things are now in COD, you don't have time to be bad.
Yep.
I'm all for improvement and getting better. I'm biased, everyone will bring up our fucking Vanguard season, but like that is just not that's such an outlier thing to happen. And when you I'm just gonna use Carolina as a perfect example. They were the most proactive team with changes. They did it prior to even stepping foot on local area.
I would
and
argue
they beat the shit out of New York.
Do what? And I would argue they even waited too long, and they still were the first. Yeah.
I really don't like the discussion of just immediately roster change, but like it just how easy it is to dig yourself a hole in the CDL standings for champs at the end of the year. These teams need to be more proactive after this event, and I am really hoping that there is, like, to Chris's point, some sort of initiative to just be like, okay, we're not going to get the number one guy right now, but we need to do something. Because these rosters are not it. They're not.
The thing for Vegas is, I don't know if you guys have seen their schedule. The schedule for Major 2 is very interesting. They don't play Optic, they don't play FaZe, they don't play New York, who I assume we'll figure it out. The only top-ish team they play is Toronto, but they play a lot of teams like an LA Thieves or a Carolina that are going to probably have made or will have made roster changes and be in honeymoon stage. And so it ends up being like kind of a tricky schedule because they're going to play a bunch of unknowns. I agree. I think, which for Vegas, I just don't see their ability to win with this roster. I don't see their ability to really make a deep run to get top 6, which they need to do at least 1 or 2 of these majors to get enough points to make champs. They need to go ahead and make some changes and try and work their way up.
Yeah.
Because what they're sitting on 20 points, they're sitting on 35 points now.
Yeah. They definitely need to, I definitely think they're going to make some changes. I just don't know what they're going to do and who they're going to get and kind of how they're going to do it.
But again,
I also think. Oh, go ahead, Grace. You go ahead.
I was going to say, this goes to my point. Like, Purge was on the team that won champs, right? And yeah, he had a good series here, but like for the most part, he's been pretty lackluster. You go to some of these other teams and, they pick up some players that maybe weren't number one or weren't on the number one team in challengers. And those players are contributing on a way more consistent basis to their teams. That is why teams need to do way more research in terms of who they're picking up and not just look at who won the event or who won the what is it called, the champs at the end of the year. Do some research, because there are players that can play a role that your team might fundamentally need well. And sure, they might not be on the number one team, but it doesn't mean that they're not good players.
Chris, I'm gonna ask this again, bro, because I hear you, but who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm telling you. What do you mean?
Like,
what
specifics, name
specifics.
Like, are you talking about the challenger players? Or
what teams aren't doing research?
The specific teams you're talking about.
Oh no, I'm mainly LA Thieves, because they did it. They took I feel like they were like the number one destination, right? They were the number one destination in the offseason just because of their like reputation as an organization, and they could have done a lot better job of building rosters. Pat even recommended a roster that had really good challenger players, et cetera, et cetera. And they recycled talent. But I'm more so saying, like, when you have that power as a team and as an organization to be the first choice for some people, and you don't do a deep dive into rosters or players in challengers, I feel like you're just doing yourself a disservice. And there's some teams that benefited from it, and there's some teams that obviously didn't.
I'll say this, like, I do think that Thieves, we just talked about it. I think Thieves' decision making here was a little sus with this roster, but I also think I talked to Novus quite a bit. I've talked to Cap and Shane. I do think they do generally make good decisions with roster moves since they moved away from whatever the fuck happened during the Cold War year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to cook Thieves right now. That's not what I'm 100%. Saying. I'm saying this from every organizational perspective, that the benefits of doing a lot more research will either benefit you in the off season, or they're going to benefit you later down the line, like now when you need to make changes and need to make changes quick. Like it's just the way it is.
Ben is comedy, bro.
What I do now.
You knew Chris was talking about Thieves. You wanted him to call out the Thieves, and then you defended the Thieves after he called him out. Ben is comedy.
It be like that, man. It be like that. Guys,
I'm not really on. Just to be clear, like I think obviously he's saying in retrospect, like I think they definitely tried to go with a risky decision here, running back to Minnesota duo that didn't work. But to say that they're like, I think the brain trust there is smart. I just think they definitely fucked this one up. And they got to figure out how to.
Smart people make dumb decisions all the time.
I mean, from talking to a Vegas perspective, from talking on a Vegas perspective, look at the role you need. Look at the players in challengers. Look at the personalities of those players. Like, do some research, talk to their teammates, blah blah. And if they fit, pick them up. Don't just be like, oh, I'm getting the guy with the best KD. Like, just that's all I'm saying.
Any other final thoughts on LAG Vegas? Vegas get eliminated. LAG move on. as you guys can see here. Any thoughts before we go?
I have one thought, which is taking a look at the bracket. You have the screen right now. For keynotes to people watching, winners round 2. If you lose, you go to the opposite side of the bracket you're on. So FaZe and Optic, if they lose, will go to the bottom side of losers. Ultra and Rocker will go to the top side of losers. So someone between Toronto, Minnesota, and LEG is getting top 4 at this event, which I am definitely surprised at. Potentially, that is a lot of fucking points available for either Rocker or LEG for the championship qualification at the end of the year.
Yeah. That's big. Like, they need those points. That's going to be a really big match. I'd say we going through predictions. I think the first match is Surge Ravens, I believe, right?
Wait, I have a question, Ben. Why did you say someone between Toronto, Minnesota, and Gorillas? You just mean Rocker or LAG, or one of them are getting top 4. That's what you meant, right?
I'm just trying to list all the teams' possibility there. You know. What
I mean? Okay, I see. Okay, go ahead.
But I agree with you. I think Toronto's not losing that one, and we'll get to predictions at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, let's get into predictions. I'm pretty sure Surge Ravens is what we're kicking off with tomorrow. I think that's the first match, so we'll start with that one. I could be wrong. Unless I'm wrong.
Do you need the matches? I can send you. What do you want me to
Just
send?
let me know.
Sounds right.
Just let me know. Just let me know who's first. Let's start with Surge and Ravens. Surge and Ravens. I have. Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
I'm putting it in your chat here. You can pull it up.
I'm gonna go with the Carolina Royal Ravens. 3-2. Ben, who do you got?
And Tom, I'm gonna put the image address so you can pull it up here. I don't really know. Can you come back to me? I really actually legit don't know.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Sam.
I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead, Sam. Sam, what do you think? I actually have no fucking clue what to do for this series. I have no idea. So
I'm gonna take Seattle.
You're taking Seattle? Fuck,
I'm gonna take Seattle.
Shit.
A former squad.
The former squad. Pat.
What about you, Chris? Chris, what are you feeling right now?
I'm taking Ravens.
You taking Ravens too? Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Is it a feeling or is there a reason why?
I just like the way they played today, and I think Surge is just lucky that they are good at search. Like, that's literally the only reason they made it past their match. Because if they're just not good at respawn, like at all, while Ravens is on the uptrend at respawn, in my opinion.
5-0 in their last hard points.
Don't care
at all. It's crazy.
Oh wait, you're talking about Ravens. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ravens. I was Surge. I was like, what?
Yeah, Ravens.
Just tune that out.
All right, Pat, what do you think? Pat, what are you going with?
I'm going with the game 5 here, Tom.
Okay, so am I.
And I'm going with a Seattle Surge Undertaker Illy Masterclass.
So you think Illy's gonna turn up, and you think they're gonna squeeze by?
Yeah.
Okay, so a little split there, Ben. What are you feeling? I mean, you wanted us to come back to you. We gave you some time now. How you doing over there?
I don't know who to pick. So the chat did a poll. They've got Carolina. I'm taking Carolina game
Ben,
5.
we asked for Ben's prediction, not Chad's prediction.
Stick with your chest, Benjay.
Just make a decision. Just make a
decision.
decision.
Fucking predict.
I'm picking Carolina. Fucking
okay.
There you go, dude. Game 5.
That's fucking pathetic. That's pathetic. We got Atlanta FaZe going up against Optic Texas. Now, I think Optic looked great against Miami. They looked way better. I think this is gonna be a grueler, bro. I think this is gonna be a close series. I think it's gonna. Yo, MC keeps poking me some crazy shit, bro. And why is he poking? Isn't he at the event?
Because they're probably sitting in their fucking hotel room watching this show, having a fucking giggle.
Yeah, and he's poking me some fucking crazy shit that I can't even read out loud. You know? So we're gonna ignore that. MC, go fuck yourself, MC. Atlanta FaZe, I think it's gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be a really good match. I think it's gonna be a close match, but I have Atlanta FaZe taking it. I think it's gonna be a 3-2 Atlanta FaZe victory. That's what I got. 3-2. Ben, who do you got?
Ooh.
3-2 or 3-1?
I am going to take Optic game 5.
Okay, Benjay.
Optic game 5, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sam?
I'm gonna take FaZe because they're my event winner. I got them not losing to anyone that they would play.
Okay.
So I'm taking FaZe.
Chris?
Taking FaZe because FaZe and Ultra have just been the best team, so I'm taking both of them in their respective matches.
Patty P. What do you think,
DoorDash,
man?
right, Pat? Pat, you call it DoorDash.
Yeah, no, well, so I'm not going to be delusional here, guys, okay? I'm going to tell you how it is, what I genuinely think.
Grounded take.
And this is going to be the fastest 3-0 we've ever seen in the CDL.
But this is like not even like a DoorDash. Like
You mean this series is going to be faster than the Toronto Ultra versus the Seattle Surge?
This is like it's like when you order takeout from the bar like down the street and you go fucking pick it up.
You're telling me this series is going to be faster than Toby dropping a 4.0 in Hardpoint?
Man.
All 4 of the Atlanta FaZe are not only going to have just absolute beautiful green carpets, but I'm going to say one of them is also going to have a 2.0
on a 2.0
in the series.
I'm glad we're not delusional. I'm glad we're
2.0.
I'm glad we're not. I'm glad we prefaced this prediction with not being delusional.
I will say Optic will get at least 1 round in the S&D.
Still give you 1.
I hope this series is a fucking Game 5 round 11 banger.
As someone who loves Atlanta FaZe, hopefully that's how it goes, Pat. Hopefully, but I think it's gonna be. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a close series. Optic always plays FaZe well. Always.
I'm honestly just happy that everybody on the show is giving great, unbiased, objective takes. Because honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Agreed.
I say what I feel, and I say what I believe.
All right, that's gonna do it for our.
No. We didn't do Toronto, Minnesota.
Yeah, right.
We got more predictions. Hold on, Tom. In the DM, I sent you the fucking graphic to put up. So
yeah, you did. Okay, thank you. Toronto, Minnesota.
Toronto,
go
Minnesota.
ahead, man. You start things off. I'll go last.
I got Toronto 3-0. That one might be a DoorDash. I just think Toronto's just in a different class. From
Sam,
Minnesota.
DoorDash. Everybody got DoorDash.
I don't think DoorDash, but I think Toronto wins the series. I think that Minnesota has been very contingent on their Game 1 victories. They're very hot Game 1. Toronto is miles away, not even fucking close to the best hardpoint team in the game. So I don't think that Minnesota wins Game 1 tomorrow, and I favor Toronto, obviously, in the rest
Rocker
of the
takes
series.
a map.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say
Rocker
3-1. 3-1 Toronto. You can see Minnesota taking a map, but I think Toronto's going to edge them out. Toronto look good as fuck, bro. And Kleenex is an issue, man. The tissue's an issue. Go ahead, Pat. What do you think?
So again, not going to be delusional here. This is going to be the second fastest series in CDL history. But it's going to be close to the FaZe Optic one. But the production team that CDL is going to love tomorrow because of how fast FaZe and Ultra get these matches done.
Okay, so
3-0.
two
3-0
back-to-back 3-0s. Back-to-back. So it's going to be an hour for two series.
We're running the show at 5 p.m. tomorrow, Tom. You better be ready.
Yes.
Now, we also got then after that, we have 2 elimination rounds. So 2 elimination round 3. So that's where the winner teams will drop into. Obviously, we have no idea who the hell that's going to be, so we can't do predictions for that. But
we can ask it this way: like, if whoever loses FaZe Toronto, do you see them beating their Seattle, Carolina?
They're winning for sure.
No.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think top 3 will probably be FaZe, Toronto, Optic.
And I would say this: we can probably assume a high probability it's LAG versus Minnesota. Who are we taking that hypothetical? I got Minnesota.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I got LAG again.
Jesus.
I'm so glad that all of our predictions are non-biased, objective takes here on the flank. We know ball here at the flank. This is great, guys. This is really good.
I don't know who to go with for LAG.
Me either, but that's a toss-up.
That'll be a good ass series.
Right?
That's gonna be a good fucking series.
That might be the best series of tomorrow.
Sam,
might be the closest.
It could be worse. It could be as bad as taking LAT against
I might go LAG. I might go LAG.
But guess what?
Sam
I didn't do that.
Oh, you
Jesus
did it?
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
Wait, who took LAT yesterday?
I took LAT yesterday.
Jesus,
I did. They fucking costed me, bro.
Chris, you know what? I don't appreciate that dagger attempt. Fuck
sorry.
you.
I did. Wow.
That was toxic.
Oh, I actually took those guys?
Pick LAG
Yes, you did, Pat.
Minnesota.
You said Game 5 as well.
Sam, you should unretire, man.
What was I thinking?
Thanks, Chris. Come coach me.
I would.
Now, after seeing how New York played, do you think that Rocker win is impressive? After seeing how New York's fucking went out?
Rocker might have broken the bros.
No.
The Rocker might have fucking
I know that
broke
yesterday.
the boys. I don't know.
Bro, they lost. Bro, listen. New York has had a rough weekend in matches. Like,
rough is an understatement.
Yeah, like, dude, they were compromised yesterday after all that.
They didn't make it to the weekend.
They'll bounce back. They'll come in online, stage 2, probably go 5-2.
Their online split in Major 2 is Carolina, Seattle, Boston, FaZe, Miami, LAG, Optics. So I think I could see 5 wins there if they pull it.
Yeah. Maybe even 6-1.
6-1. All right. Listen, any other thoughts, predictions, any of the matches, anything else to say? Go ahead, Pat.
I'm putting every channel point I have on Ben missing this
Ben,
putt.
you're 7 for 7.
I'm on a fucking streak. Can I say one thing before I hit this pot? We didn't talk about one thing, and I want to say my piece on this because I've been thinking about this all week.
Yeah, snap on that shit.
Shout out to production. Yesterday was a fucking shit show with all the crashes. And today we had 0 game crashes, and I think that's a big shout out to the staff at the CDL, at the IT people that probably worked fucking hard overnight to figure that out. And by the way, and this has not been discussed at all on any of our streams or on any of the shows. I don't know if y'all watching this know, but there were huge layoffs at Activision Blizzard last couple of days. A lot of people lost their jobs at the company. And from my understanding, no one at Activision Blizzard Esports has been told that they're staying or getting laid off because they're working this event this weekend. So there are a lot of people at this event this weekend have no idea if they get home on Monday if they're going to have a job. So shout out to those people. We're working hard to give you guys some great content, even though they may be out of a gig on Monday.
I also
agree, bro. Agreed.
I also saw that like Sledgehammer, they lost like 30% of their total studio staff, which is insane. Like they have an active game right now.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I'm also gonna elaborate on Ben's point. I don't know if you guys in the chat saw. I know we all did on the watch party. The Challenger venue for this event,
crazy,
fucking
lit.
Fire.
Yeah, it looks great. They did a great job.
So I want to make sure Boston gets their flower. Pat, it is a fucking banger venue.
They showed it on stream.
They showed it on stream. It was a fucking good ass venue.
Somebody tweeted it. Benjay stepping up to the plate. He just gets right in there. He's
8 for 8.
He's 8 for 8.
Baby,
8 for 8.
Bro, Ben, that's icy, Ben.
You're on a fucking heater, boy.
Ben, that's fucking icy, bro.
I've been thinking about getting my putter regripped because it's like falling apart, but I keep making
You got good grip, Ben. Let me tell you, because you are hot.
Okay, Kason, tell me to wear socks.
No, I agree. I agree with Kason. You need to put some fucking socks on.
Yeah, some socks might be the play.
I'm on a McCaffrey fucking touchdown streak
Ben's
right
now. Ben's got the Adam Assault gorilla grip right now.
Did they tweet out that they didn't tweet out the challengers? Look like
I haven't seen it anywhere.
I can link you a photo of what it looks like.
It's
yeah, give me a photo. Where's the photo at? Put it in my chat.
Let me find a go with the stage. And
they got a whole ass stage. Like it's in House of Blues, so they got good space. It's good, dude.
Bro,
shout out to Boston.
Challengers is fucking lit right now, bro. Challengers is crazy.
Wait, it's in a different venue than the.
It's across the street at the House of Blues.
Oh, gotcha. Where was it last time, Chris? Were you were freezing?
It was like a restaurant in Fenway.
No.
It
was in Fenway. It was literally where like the box, like the seats were. Like you could literally you could open a door and like
the
be
rotation
out onto the stands.
Phenomenal. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben J. Phenomenal.
Fucking banger venue.
Oh, they tweeted out a video.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
There's a rotation video, but yeah, I mean, listen, obviously the Fenway space is interesting, but it's a baseball stadium. It's not exactly built for fucking cold weather and heat. And there's plenty of concert venues in the area, including the House of Blues, and so they have a fun setup here. There's stations on the wings on the upper decks.
Yeah, the upper decks. They have stuff
on the stage.
We've been super pessimistic on the Challengers thing, but just want to give Boston their flowers because that's
probably smells like shit in there. Probably smells like fucking dog shit in there.
That's besides the point. That's a whole other topic.
You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, look at that. And it's probably musty and hot with all those PCs. It's probably hot as fuck. But hey,
the passion pit is flowing in there
the
for
fucking
sure.
pit though. Like you gotta be one with the pit if you want to make it out and get to the big stage, man. You gotta go through it, man. That's just it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I remember those days, man. Reminds me of like the locals and shit. You know what I mean? Is everybody saying Luma? I don't know if you guys have ever been in those pits. Have you guys ever been in those pits? Have you guys played it? I played through Ben. Remember
smells like pits.
Remember when we played through open bracket and fucking
played 11 series in one day.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna just be honest. Some people don't shower, bro. It is what it is. They just don't take showers. Like some people just don't take showers, man. They just don't. You learn that very quickly when you're in the pit. You learn that very, very quickly. Man, it is what it is. Guys, any final thoughts on the day? Any final thoughts? And Kason said, Tommy, your nose is looking bigger today. I don't know why. It's because I trimmed down my beard, so my nose looks a lot bigger now. It's really protruding
fucking
now.
knew it, dude. I wanted to ask, but I didn't remember.
What?
I was like, did you trim today? You look different.
You guys are on my first. You asked about my shirt, and you're like, "Did you trim?" You know what I'm saying? You guys are very curious, man. Very curious.
You're looking really Italian right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, man. Thank you. What is that? A fucking comb? What did you just whip that from under the desk? The fuck?
I have one at my desk all the time.
Oh, that's nice. I don't have a comb at my desk. But listen, guys. Any other thoughts, Chris, Pat, Ben, Sam? Before we head out.
Nothing.
Alrighty, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out all the other sets we're on, and go follow at the Flank on Twitter. Ger's doing a phenomenal job running social. I think he's gonna bring back the Flank TV tomorrow as well. I think Ger said that the venue was a little dead today. Just a lot of people just weren't there vibing. So tomorrow he's gonna get back into the crowd and try and get them going over there, man. So if you're over in Boston, want to show Gersh some love, go show him some love, man. He'll be out there somewhere. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Brush your hair. And you guys have a phenomenal night. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.